Hello, everybody.
Hello,
Welcome
sure
to
this time.
Welcome. Wait, what?
You tried to preemptively welcome everybody.
You tried to
before.
pre-welcome us?
I said hello and nobody heard me.
That's because
Because
nothing was on yet.
No one
I
did.
don't say hi.
No one hears your scream in the forest.
Either way, welcome to the post-credit show where we talk about games we've played,
Movies and
other
everything
assorted
else.
junk we've done.
Everything else in
Yep.
between.
Yep.
You want to
So-
quickly touch on Black Panther?
Yeah, Black Panther's a good film.
We're doing spoiler. You just took it off.
I'm putting it back just in case.
It's a good film.
Potential spoiler warning.
No, I
Black
liked
Panther.
it. I loved it. I super loved everything about it. It solves. It's up there in my top 3 Marvel films.
Behind Winter Soldier and Civil War.
I actually, not a popular opinion, but I actually like Guardians of the Galaxy the most. I love the first one.
They're up there, but I wouldn't
It's
say the
super-
Cap movies are probably the best.
Oh yeah, the Captain. I think Civil War is my second, and then I want to say Black Panther's like third.
Winter Soldier is the
Winter
second
Soldier's-
for me.
Winter Soldier would be a fourth for me.
I wouldn't know what number 1 is though.
No, I think just how fun Guardians is, that is easily the best one, and I want to see more of those characters. But yes, in
Hard to
terms
say.
of Black Panther though, it's super like it is everything I expected. And I'm sorry, the sneakers pun.
That was good.
That was like the highlight of that movie.
My one coworker's like, my kid keeps walking around doing that. It's like, they're called
Sneakers.
sneakers.
And I'm like, ha, 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 ha.
That's what I said. I'm like, Shuri was one of the best parts of that.
I can't wait to see her talking with Bruce Banner and Tony Stark at some point in time.
And
And Tom Holland.
Peter Parker.
Like getting them to go, those guys together and just having their minds collectively blown by what she knows.
Well, and that's my biggest thing is like, Tony Stark's going to be all, repulsor out of hand.
Yeah.
And she's going to be like, that's
cute.
Like, I can make an entire suit come out of
A necklace.
a necklace.
Cool. What can you do?
Yeah,
and then
what-
Tony Stark's like, maybe I'll do that now.
Oh, I
He does have that extremis armor.
He does the watch thing, or it turns into...
No, but he has the armor.
He does that one thing out of a watch. He makes an entire bulletproof suit show up outside of a necklace.
And in the comics, he
She
does
has
get
Tony Stark,
like.
He could turn
Oh.
his suit into an armor.
But
suit.
okay, so in the comics, Iron Man does get the
nanite stuff.
the nanite armor, and that looks like what he's going to be wearing in the movie.
in my brain, I really wish that, like, I'm kind of
Say
hoping...
that for number 4.
No, he has it.
You saw in the
It's in the trailer.
with that the
Oh, okay.
10-second trailer or whatever.
But I'm really hoping Shuri is involved in some way, shape, or form with
inspiring
that.
him, like
Yeah.
oh,
Or helping him with it.
Yeah, imagine a vibranium armor Iron Man.
That's what they're thinking. Is it's gonna
But at
be
that point, we're almost getting that, because if Black Panther is helping the world at this point, it would be stupid if Black Panther showed up to help fight and didn't bring
Cool tech,
friends, the-
cool tech.
cool tech for his friends who are superheroes.
Yeah, it's like Iron Man or not. Yeah, Tony Stark is the one person that was outfitting the Avengers, and now he's being like he's the side character now for the tech.
Yeah. That's my thing. It's like Shuri shows up and she's like, that's cute. Here, like, put this on your suit. And it just like, he's just like, oh, neat.
Now he shoots him and like kind of doesn't even bounce off
Yeah.
of him. He's like, yeah, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm copying this tech. No, you can have it, but I'm copying it.
Just take it. So yeah, no, I love Shuri.
Shuri's a really cool part of that movie. Like, and I do love Michael B. Jordan. Oh, his character was really good. Like, I loved
Yep.
everything about him, and the fact
you
that
feel
they
bad for him.
and the fact that they killed him off, but didn't really kill off what he was trying to do,
Yes.
solves a lot of what the Marvel Marvel villains have a problem with in the Marvel movies. I think so, anyways.
Well, I thought the issue was
And the fact that he
with other
chose
villains was they tried to make him sympathetic, but it didn't work.
right. and he did choose to kill himself, which is one thing. So like,
So Black Panther didn't have that. Doesn't have that over his head that he killed someone.
yeah,
I don't think Black Panther really cares.
I don't think he cared anyways. But like the fact that
I
the
think he did
villain,
because it was his cousin, family.
it was
Who
but-
tried to mutiny and
right.
destroy
It's
the
his
world.
But he did offer that
You
You
option.
forgive your family for things they do.
Nope.
And he did offer him the option to be like, hey, we've got the tech here to save you. You've got a spear in your heart. We can help you with that. And he's like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like that, it's perfect. Like, I'm interested to see what Thanos will turn into as a villain.
Not sympathetic, just a
No, well,
warmonger.
No, not even just a warmonger. He wants to balance the universe. So I mean,
His
it's
way
just
of balancing the universe.
correct, right.
By having no
Or
life
he's-
on any planet? Like,
No, he's
No,
trying
the
to
fact
win
that-
over death.
Yes,
He's trying to win her over, so the way to do that is to kill
Conquer.
people.
conquer.
yeah.
Lady
He's
Death.
done it in the comics. where
Again,
he's
I don't
destroyed
think
half the universe.
they're not
Just
just pull that
impress-
for the movie.
You never know.
Trying to impress death.
Yep.
Yeah. I could see that being a post-credit sequence. It's like, look what I've done, and then Lady Death is sitting in his chair.
Not impressed.
You can do better. I guess I'll handle this.
So yeah, Black Panther, good film.
There you go.
I think you guys have already expressed interest, like how good it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
I think
talked
we all.
about it for a good 20 minutes.
Yeah,
I think we
it's
all
good.
share the same sentiment of how this film is. So if you haven't yet watched it,
do it.
go watch
You
it.
shouldn't have been watching right now.
Yes. Well, I
No,
mean,
watch this.
We're,
and
we're
then
only
go
about
see
45
Black
minutes here. We're only about 45 minutes here. So
Then
go
go see
see it
Black
afterward.
Panther.
Yes. You could see it twice
But
afterwards.
no, because you just said
Go
about
to
the
use
stuff.
your movie
Go
pass.
use your movie pass.
Yes.
Go see Black Panther.
If you can. So yeah, watch Black Panther. Let me just pull.
Keep it on rolling, Tony. How
Here.
was Community Day?
Okay, so the reason why I wasn't here last week, I'm sure you guys have already
Segues.
talked about it. So, Pokemon Go Community Day was last week. It was the second one they've done this month, featuring Dratini being the Pokemon of choice. And so basically, it only spawned Dratini for like 3 hours. Everyone was catching them. We were all at our favorite hotspots in Edmonton. Borden Park, Legislature, Sherwood Park had a few good spots as well. And they also introduced Dratini, shiny Dratini, into the game, which is a nice, cute pink dragon. Looks super cute. It was so much fun. I've met up with so many people that I've played this game with since launch and have met throughout doing raids at the Legislature.
Do shiny? Quick question. If you have a shiny Dratini, does it when it evolves? Does it stay shiny, or
It
does
does
it go
stay
back
shiny.
to regular?
No, it does stay shiny.
Okay.
It does stay shiny. Each Pokemon has a
I've
shiny
always been kind of
color.
curious. I never catch shinies.
And they also
think I've
increased the
ever
shiny
seen
rate
one.
as well for Dratini for those 3 hours. I think I caught like 110 or so Dratinis. I ended up catching 8 shiny Pokemon, 8 shiny Dratini.
And you.
Evolved one into vomit.
Evolved
Yes,
one
that's
into-
what I thought it was poop for some reason.
No, it's vomit.
Okay.
It's super weird seeing Dragonite not being pink, because Dragonair and Dratini are pink when they're shiny, and then Dragonite's vomit green.
Yeah, but to be fair, Dragonite's orange in the
Yeah, he's
main
already
game.
orange.
Like he changes colors completely.
He goes from
It does,
blue
but
to
if you
orange.
look at another Pokemon like Pikachu,
Yeah,
Pikachu's yellow,
yeah.
shiny Pikachu is just gold. There's very little color variation on that, so it's super weird. And then you get Swablu, which is a bird Pokemon in
Okay.
this current generation. He's blue. His shiny form is gold, which makes complete sense.
Sure.
But just Pokemon makes weird decisions when they want to make shiny variations. I don't know. So yeah, that community day I think was a rousing success because it brought tons of people out to wherever you want to play the game for that day. Which leads to the second point. The next community day will be on March 25th, which ends up being a Sunday, the last Sunday of the month.
Okay.
The feature Pokemon for that is Bulbasaur, which
I thought Bulbasaur's already. You can catch him anyways.
you can catch Bulbasaur, but you could always catch Dratini before.
This one will just
But-
pretty much guarantee that you're gonna walk out with
Get a
100
shiny
Bulbasaurs
Bulbasaur.
and
You
some
get a shiny
What does a
Bulbasaur.
shiny Bulbasaur look like?
Slightly off green.
So same thing.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. The flower changes on the back with Venusaur. I think it becomes a gold flower.
They were
But
fancy.
the big deal is that you want to evolve the Bulbasaur during this event. Same thing with the Dratini event, because you can only get the Draco Meteor from a Dratini onto Dragonite if you evolved during the 3 hours. Yeah, that's the shiny color.
I see no difference.
Yeah, it's like I said.
It's not teal green.
Yeah, like I said, Pokemon sometimes doesn't make a good
I
job.
don't see enough of a difference.
No, it's not. So for this
You're not
event,
gonna win
for
me
the
over on this.
Bulbasaur, you're not gonna. I'm kind of glad I'm not going to be
I
able.
really don't see much of a difference.
No, there's not.
don't see much of a difference.
You can see
He
it.
looks the same, other than the stark color difference.
It's a darker green, I guess.
It's a lighter
It's
green.
very much lighter. It's a lime green compared to turquoise.
I can't tell color sometimes.
Oh, anywho.
Anyway, that's the color that I'm always used to seeing.
That's 'cause it's
Same thing with this
different.
Venusaur, this Bulbasaur line. If you catch a Bulbasaur and evolve it during this 3 hours on the 25th, you will get an exclusive move on Venusaur that you can't get anywhere else.
Cool.
But you have to do it
Did you
within
get the same thing with Dragonite?
Yes, so Dragonite's exclusive move was Draco Meteor.
Okay.
And it's technically a more powerful attack, but Outrage, another move that he can learn just normally throughout the game, is actually a much better attack. Okay. So I did evolve my Dragonite to get the Draco Meteor, just in case they, rebalance the moves and make it stronger.
Yeah.
They can always do that. So yeah, Bulbasaur is coming up. On the March 25th, it was, or the Dratini event, this current one that just passed, it was actually 3 times Stardust catch on all Pokemon, which means, see, it's a gold flower.
I was actually going to ask you to show me, but
yeah. So yeah, the Venusaur does look cool. So if I can catch one while I'm in Portland, while I'm in Portland.
Bluish green, very green.
Actual jungle.
Yes.
Actual
Prefer
jungle.
this one.
orange tongue to pink tongue.
That's because you know what they do. Because I've done
You
this
should,
before.
you should look up Aeron Shiny.
They pretty much take in Photoshop. There's a little hue and saturation section, and when you move the hue along, it just changes the colors drastically. So that's all they do. I'm on to them.
The later generation Shiny Pokemon actually
why
are pretty.
Why doesn't it change the green on the petals?
Because why not?
Because they didn't select those when they started changing the hues.
Confusing.
I can make shiny versions of us.
We are shiny versions of us.
No, just different colored versions of us. I'll make him white and us Asian, and we're good to go.
Oh, well, judging on the light, I kind of...
I know. Our light is very yellow down here.
Racist. But yeah,
Just
like
like
Pokemon
honest.
Go Day, Community Day was super fun. I'm not going to be able to participate in the next one because I will be in Portland.
Don't they
Doing
have
other
stuff?
Pokemon stuff.
Don't they
Doing
have-
actual Pokemon
He's
stuff.
busy
We've
working.
already had this discussion.
Yes, he's
So-
actually working.
So if I can get a Pokemon Go Plus for that day, I'll just
Leave
keep
it with your fiance, and she can do it for you.
No,
Why not?
because I have to do my own Pokemon stuff.
You did stuff for her.
Yeah, because I love her.
She doesn't.
I was gonna say,
She
she-
does
she
not
does-
compute.
She doesn't know how to play the game like I do.
You take ball, you flick, you catch.
Don't want to waste it, man. You got to know how to throw that ball.
You gotta curve it. You gotta give it a real good curve. You gotta give it a good curve and
You're
then
doing
toss
it
it.
wrong. You gotta.
I don't have to.
There's a spin involved.
You don't have to.
You
Especially.
don't have to.
No, I should be able to play while I'm in Portland.
And you just said you can't.
I should be able to.
I will do it for you. Leave me your phone.
No. I need it to talk to her while I'm down there.
His leaves on top are a different color, by the way.
How much?
Not much, but
Not
it's
by
there.
much. So yeah,
Just have to prove me
While-
wrong. Eh?
I'm just. I had to look.
while we're on the subject
What's the
of
shiny Charizard look like?
black,
Is it?
amazing,
Oh,
like literally
I
amazing.
want a shiny Charizard.
Yeah. So people are theorizing they're going to do Bulbasaur here. Eventually, they'll get to all
Blastoise
three
too.
Kantos. Oh, well, Blastoise is a darker blue,
Oh, I like
right? Freaking
that.
boss.
I like that.
Yeah, Blastoise is just a darker blue,
I like it.
I believe.
Anyways,
People are theorizing, yeah. So the other two Kanto starters will get their own Community Day, which if they don't make Squirtle Squad Squirtles, that'll be a missed opportunity. I'm just saying. They've done Party Hat Pikachus and Witch Hat Pikachus.
Detective Pikachu.
They have yet to do Detective Pikachu. They have yet to do that. I think they might do that for
When the game gets released.
yeah,
for the movie.
when the game and movie come out, I feel like we will see a Detective Hat Pikachu. I would love to have a Squirtle Squad with glasses. Just saying.
You keep all your Pokemon too. You don't trade them in, do you?
Some depends on what Pokemon it is. Like I said, I don't.
You caught 110 Dratini.
Yes, I only saved about 10 of them.
Okay, good.
I only saved about 10.
I was
of
gonna say
them.
if you kept all 100,
You need to blend them up into those candies, man.
Yeah, you got to grind them for the extra candy.
and feed them. to the Dratini to make
Feed them back to their
give it just like cannibalism.
Yep.
Yeah, looking forward to more community days. We'll see what happens with that. While we're on the subject of whitewashing and Asian washing,
Pokemon?
Watched the Full Metal Alchemist movie. Did Brian watch the Full Metal Alchemist movie?
No, he just finished
Brotherhood.
Yes.
Okay, so I actually did watch the Full Metal Alchemist Brotherhood movie.
And?
Not bad. Not good. It's not a train wreck. It's just it's a mild car wreck. I think it's the best thing that they could have done with that series. A lot of people have an issue with it being Asian washed, actually, because if you watch the original anime, it's an entire like white audience. It's all Caucasian.
Okay.
But they have Japanese actors portraying these white character roles.
Wouldn't that be like Dragon Ball though?
Yeah.
Where they look Caucasian, but they're actually
no. These guys are Full Metal Alchemist is based off of European, I guess
Magna.
Manga.
That's
the
word
manga
I'm looking for.
The manga and the show. It's all based off of the 1800s European sort of culture.
Okay.
So it's a lot of white culture in that sense. But I honestly don't have an issue with it. What I do have an issue with that film is that they take bits and pieces from Full Metal Brotherhood and put them into this movie out of order.
Okay.
That being said, even though they pluck out certain events from other, say like this final climactic sequence from the show into this movie, it's at least the full sequence. Mm-hmm. They're not butchering what happens in that sequence. Okay. It just seems out of order. So if you go into this film expecting that, then I think you're going to be okay. Don't go in thinking that this is better than sliced bread. It's better than the Attack on Titan films, and it's way better than
Death Note.
Yes, that.
I figured.
Way better than that. The score that IGN gave it, I think I do agree with the number score that they did give.
7.
6.
Oh.
I think they gave it a 6.
Random guess.
I would go 6.5, honestly, if I were to score it. The animations are really good. The CG was really, really good on Ed's armor.
Mm-hmm.
So Al's armor is really, really basically from the show.
Yeah.
All the belt buckles, all of the feathers on his helmet. It's to a T.
See, but you say, "Oh yeah," and then you watch the Dragon Ball movie and go, "Oh."
Oh yeah. There's 2 versions of.
They need to make a new one of those.
They no, they don't.
Yes, they do.
They could make a decent.
I think they could.
I think Dragon Ball Super is doing much better for them.
I was just gonna say, but Dragon
Ball Super.
I think you could do a live action.
You could. I'd still keep it as a cartoon. I don't need live action Dragon Ball.
No, you don't need to see live action.
You can pull off so much more with anime.
Yeah, technology nowadays.
Yeah, but I don't need to see real people trying to
Death Note.
Punch that fast.
Death Note.
There's something that anime can pull off that just real people would look silly doing.
It's just punching. That's all it is.
I know, but the faster really it goes, it's gonna be like, all right. Like all it's gonna be is a blur between the 2 people. At least in anime, it looks.
That's all it does in anime is a blur.
I know, but that's what I mean. In anime, it doesn't look stupid.
And then it's a way cheaper to do.
Yeah, because you're just you're reusing the same 3 cells over and over again.
And it's really easy to just copy and paste and just kind of adjust if needed.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, Full Metal Brotherhood, or the Full Metal Alchemist movie on Netflix, it's actually worth a watch. If you've watched Brotherhood completely, it's based off of Brotherhood. It's not based off of the older 2001 show.
I am not.
So you need to binge watch Brotherhood before going into this, because if you watch this raw, straight, without watching any Full Metal Alchemist, you will be completely lost.
See, and that's not a good thing to me.
It is not a good thing.
I should be able to jump into a movie and just make
correct.
This movie was also made in, what is it, 2018 right now? I think this movie was done in 2016. So it was done at sort of the height of everybody watching Full Metal, knowing the backstory of these 2 characters, these 2 brothers, and everyone around them.
Yeah.
And
your movie shouldn't rely on me seeing.
It shouldn't, and that's why I agree with the score.
Yeah. No, I'm down with that. That was my next question. Was do I have to watch the cartoon?
You kind of do. You kind of do, but you kind of don't. You kind of do and you kind of don't.
Depends how many episodes are in a season.
Not many. I think that's like 13.
And how many seasons?
5?
Yeah.
It's not
Well,
too
the way
bad.
I'm going with things.
It's not
a
too
lot of
hard.
movie.
It's not
Yep.
too hard to catch up on Brotherhood. What I will say is that there are certain characters that they didn't put into this movie from the show, which are my favorite characters, but they're leaving them for potential sequels. Which, because they have introduced big story plot points in this movie that they're not following up on, only because it's, if they tried to cram all of it into one movie,
Yep.
you would have had an Attack on Titan situation. Because there's a lot of morality, a lot of philosophy that they didn't touch on just yet. Yeah, it's a good movie, but not like, run home, rewatch like 2 or 3 times movie. It's a good single watch.
That's
It's
all I ever do with my movies.
It's all,
go and watch the original cartoon or the Brotherhood cartoon, and then watch the movie kind of movie.
yes. So, and I think the problem with the movie is that it hinges on people already have watching and knowing what the show is all about.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of backstory that they don't get into at all, or touch on for like 5 seconds.
That's fine.
So if you're okay with that, then go into the movie. I think that it does a good job with that, but know that there's a lot of source material that is a lot better.
I think I just stick with the show.
Stick with the show. Honestly, Brotherhood is still in my top 5
I have
shows of
tons
all
of
time.
shows to watch. So.
So yeah, I watched that on the Netflix. Let's see what else I watched. I watched Mute. Mute. It says...
With Paul Rudd?
Yeah, Paul Rudd is not the main character, but he's definitely a good side character. So Mute is, it's sort of like it takes place in a Blade Runner-esque far-flung future,
Okay.
where Amish people still are very like anti-technology, very anti, future, basically.
Okay.
And so what happened was there's this kid who grew up in an Amish family, had a boating accident, had, I guess, his larynx or his throat ripped out.
How do you survive that?
I don't know. Science.
It's the
Science,
future.
because science. And
How do
so
you survive that?
the big story, the big part of this movie is that because he's from an Amish society, his parents were like, no, God will protect him, God will heal him, he will talk again. But
Okay, so no technology. How do you...
he doesn't.
He doesn't survive?
No, he doesn't talk.
No, but if you're not using technology,
No, his family around him. Because this kid's like 5. This kid's like 5.
it's so
You
confused.
still can't survive your throat being sucked out.
Yes.
I don't know. Science.
That's what that's...
It
No,
looked
you
like
just said religion.
science.
But they're not using technology.
What are we talking about?
Okay, you're saying he
How
got
does he
his
survive
his trach or whatever.
Through a boating accident.
Yes, but then you're not using technology to repair it. Then you can't survive
save
your
him.
throat being.
No, they bandaged him up.
All right.
I'm not sure how. That's not the main.
I still don't.
That's not the main point of the movie.
You're looking apparently too far into
You're
this.
looking way too far. Because
No, I'm
movies.
finding a loophole in their plot.
I haven't heard great
Maybe
things
he-
about this.
Maybe it's his voice box that got ripped out. I'm not sure.
That would probably make a little more sense.
I
but
don't know. There was a
the
lot of blood in
trachea,
that first
I don't
sequence.
think so.
There was a lot of blood in that first sequence. And so
And
the
who
big
knows where the blood was coming from?
is his mouth. And so so this kid basically grows up in this far-flung future as a mute individual.
Mm-hmm.
He does not talk. He works as a bouncer in this bar. He has a relationship with one of the girls.
He's still Amish.
Yes, he's still Amish
Why is he at a bar?
because he needs to work to make money.
With farm?
They don't go outside the farm, man.
I don't know, man. They
They
call
have a bar on the farm.
maybe. No, farm bar. I think I don't think he follows his religion all the way. Not his religion.
Well, they do
culture.
give them a chance to go out of the culture.
Is
and
that
they
how it
can-
works?
Yes, they
Yes.
give them an opportunity to go
So
experience
maybe that's
what
what he was up
other
to.
life is like, and if they don't come back, then they don't come back.
And I
And
think
the
maybe.
devil took hold of them.
That's what they say.
And so basically, this entire movie is. I'm not sure how to explain it. It's like Blade Runner, but with no action.
So it's slow.
Yay.
So,
So
very,
really slow.
very, very slow.
My Eastern Promise movie.
And so I think what happened was there was a war where there was a lot of AWOL soldiers, and Paul Rudd's character is one of those medical soldiers that kind of ran away to. I think it's like in. I'm trying to remember where this country is. It was so slow I couldn't follow it at
So good movie overall.
No, it's not a fair. It's very. I would rather. I don't know. I would watch Full Metal before this one again.
Would you watch Death Note over this?
No, no.
Oh, making
You
you
did
think
about it though.
No, I'd watch this movie before Death Note. It is a very good visual movie, but I think not having a main character talking kind of throws a lot of the
but you've
speed
had those
off.
type of movies.
I was gonna say
before.
they've pulled that off before.
This movie
but there's
doesn't.
action to them, I guess.
Yeah, this one has very
The one
little
I'm
action.
thinking of, it was kind of a mute. He wasn't really mute, but there's action in the movie.
But this is very little action.
Yeah, but then if the story's strong enough, you shouldn't be bored.
And the thing is, like, he's trying to find his girlfriend, who has gone missing. He's trying to follow all these leads.
But is he signed then?
No, he uses a pad and paper because no one in the future knows how to sign, apparently.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
That's reverse thinking.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah.
So
I'm confused by this show.
it's not great.
I have so many questions.
Well, see, and it sounds like it opens at like a bouncer that like it's setting itself up to be.
It's got something going on, but it doesn't follow through along.
But it sounds like it's going to be way more actiony than. I think that's probably why it was more of a disappointment. Was you're sitting there going like, all right, like I'm going to expect some brawls and some this.
He
and some that,
does
you know.
he does present himself. There's a bit of a bar fight sequence, but it doesn't
Well, I would hope so.
because he's a bouncer kind of.
Right.
He has some bouncer moments.
Yeah.
But past that, like, there's no gunfights, there's no explosions, there's very little intrigue. Paul Rudd's character is basically trying to find his way back to America because he needs to get his passport, he needs to get his IDs back to immigrate back to.
Where does this take place then?
I think it takes place in Europe somewhere, Eastern Europe or something like that. And he's trying to get him and his kid back. Because I guess he had a kid when he was gone, when he went AWOL.
Yeah, probably. Sounds about right.
So, it's very Blade Runner-esque. I don't know that it's worth a.
Don't watch it.
If you're bored, give it a watch.
I'm never bored.
I have plenty of stuff to watch.
Yeah.
So, I think it's more one of those like visual movies that's like, oh, it's a cult classic kind of thing. Not like no one's gonna write home about it.
Well, but like. Blade Runner is a good movie that not a lot of people saw in theaters.
Which one?
Both of them.
Okay.
Like even the new one, people are like, it's a really good movie.
I have that.
Just no one saw it.
Because they're trying to do what they did, where it just buys and Blu-ray sales and.
Right, and then all of a sudden it's going to be that cult classic. You actually have to. It has to be a good movie underneath it all, or so bad that people watch it for the pure enjoyment of it being.
This is a moderately mediocre.
Yeah, no,
film.
that will never
This
make
is
it. You have to either be really good.
Newt is a incredibly
Yes.
mediocre. There's no philosophy in it. There's no like other hidden meanings in it.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
Like I forgot what people were because with the Oscars coming up, people online are all like,
And I think even
Did Blade Runner get nominated?
for something.
well, Blade Runner would have been nominated for visual effects or makeup or something.
I thought they
if
did.
anything. It probably. I haven't looked. The only everybody's talking about Best Picture, of which I know 3 movies. So
I don't know any of them. I don't even know what.
Dunkirk.
Dunkirk is one of them. I know.
Oh yeah, that
I
makes
thought
sense.
Get Out was one of them. No, as
Get Out.
director.
No, Get Out's one of them.
Is that? I need to
Was
see
it?
that.
Yeah,
I
it's
thought it was
up
the
for
director.
Best Film.
Director probably too.
Probably.
I need to watch that.
The Aqua fishy one.
Oh, yes.
Guillermo del
Yep.
Toro's fishy movie.
Yep.
Oh
The
yeah.
Ape Sapien prequel. And that 3 Billboards Outside of whatever.
Yes.
Yeah. Other than that, I know none of the
If
movies.
Suicide
on it.
Squad wins Best Costuming Design again, I'm
They're
gonna
not
be
They
there.
really
can't.
mad.
They can't.
Unfortunately, you cannot win 2 years in a row.
You know, your movie needs to come out in a specific time frame.
And the winner is Suicide Squad.
Well, with Warren Beatty and what's her name screwing up last year with the Best Picture thing, anything
Yes.
can happen.
Suicide
They'll probably
Squad.
make a joke about it.
They're announcing again this
I
year.
know. That's
yeah.
what they'll probably make a joke about it.
Moonlight won.
And the winner is La La Land. Just kidding.
If you'd have to like really like ham that up though. I think.
Well, they're actors. Hopefully, they can pull that off.
I would hope so.
But like with all that talk, it's like when are superhero movies going to be looked at in the Oscars?
At least for visuals.
Some
Well,
of them,
no,
some
but-
of them do.
If you look at it, like the Academy never would have recognized westerns, and now they look
Yeah.
at them with high regard because it's like, well, it's some of Clint Eastwood's best work and John Wayne's best
Consider,
work
yeah,
and this and this
his
and this.
newest movie.
Well, but like that's the thing is they look at going like, wow, like these Western movies, but back when they were made, they were like these are moronic pieces of junk. These are not like Oscar quality films.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, when will superhero movies finally like, get their due? And it's like, in like 50 years, guys. It's how the Oscars work, which is why no one watches the Oscars.
Yeah.
My friend's watching it. But he's a pretty big movie buff. So
I am too, but I don't watch those movies.
He's very into like the social,
the artsy movie pieces though too. That's
the
thing, is like a lot of those movies come out. Like, I do want to see The Shape of Water just because it's Guillermo del Toro.
Yeah. I heard so many good things about it.
And there's enough people in that 3 billboards outside of whatever.
I won't even.
What is that movie? This is the first I've heard of it.
A daughter went missing?
Her daughter goes missing, and the police are doing absolutely nothing about it. Well, missing. We don't know what happened to her. And so the mom puts up 3 billboards saying that the police don't do their jobs, like right in a row. So it's her dealing with the police in this. But it's Woody Harrelson and...
he's all right.
Why can't I think of the other ones? The guy who played Justin Hammer in Iron Man 2.
Yeah, that's a guy I was thinking of too.
And the lady's really good too. She was in the original Fargo movie.
Yes.
See, I know the movies they've been in. I just don't know their names.
I can't tell their names.
But I like them all as actors, so I'm like, there's decent people in this film.
I've heard so many cool things about Get Out. I need to watch that one.
And Get Out's that weird...
It's a horror, right? It's a horror slash thriller.
Yeah, no, that's...
I heard it was an okay movie. It wasn't great.
I think it's more just, it's a kooky movie. Like, it's one of those ones...
horror.
Well, because it's like this African American guy. That's the one?
Yes.
Yeah.
Goes and visits his girlfriend's parents.
And
he has a bunch of slaves or something.
Yeah, and it just turns out being completely wacky, and all like the other people, like all the African American people there, like get out. Like, that's the whole point. Like, get out before something, like get out. And then it's just a weird psychological, like, mind mess of a movie.
It's by someone Peel. K. Peel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
All I recognize
it's a pretty intense movie for him.
All I can recognize is the main character.
Surprised.
All I recognize is the main characters in one of them in a Black Mirror episode.
Wasn't he in? No, he wasn't in Black Panther.
Any of them?
Yes.
I'm pretty sure they found every African American actor they could possibly find for that movie.
And Gollum.
Maybe I'm just
and Gollum. And Bilbo.
And Bilbo. But like, that's like the Aladdin movie right now is in a lot of trouble because they had to paint a bunch of white people brown.
Wait, did they do the Tropic Thunder thing?
Sort of. but for extras.
Yes, he was in Black. He was the guy riding the rhinoceros.
Oh,
okay.
The
guy got out.
Yep.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
Either way, no, Aladdin put out a thing calling for, East Indian extras.
Yeah.
And they got like 200 people that showed up.
Sure.
But they needed to fill up a street in Agrabah. So they're like, all right, like, let's put some like African American people in there, just for some diversity. That people travel, that's cool. And then they just stuck a bunch of white people in and then painted their faces.
They Tropic Thundered it.
Well, because of extras, so they're farther back. And honestly, if you watch the movie, you would never know. Like, it's that case where they are so far back and probably fairly blurred out.
Oh, and here's the thing you also, I guess, now that I'm thinking about it, when you're saying this, Robin Williams' Genie turned into a ton of white people.
Yes.
Ton of white people.
Well, but people were like, why aren't you hiring East Indian people? And Disney's like, we tried.
No one wanted to.
Digital effects. Yeah. Copy and paste. Once Upon a Time did it all the time.
Yeah, their effects were not that great.
Jordan Peele, that's what his name was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's supposed to K and Peele.
Yeah.
So
it's supposed to be a crazy, like, it looked like a crazy movie. The few things I've seen out of Get Out.
Yeah.
But.
Well, there was that thing where someone's coming right at you and then they turn it.
Yeah,
what?
It's a if you watch anything for that movie, it looks very.
I haven't seen anything for this movie. Maybe I'll just jump in like blind and find it.
It might as well, because it's one of those flicks. But yeah, Oscars are tomorrow if anybody wants to.
Yes. Back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then the last game that I've been playing is Yakuza 0, which is the prequel Yakuza game for
6.
Well, 6 is coming out. If it's not out already, it's coming out this year, even this next month or something like that, if it's not already out. But yeah, Yakuza 0 is a prequel to the entire series and franchise. And unfortunately, I'm really surprised I didn't really pick up on this series until now, because it is a crazy fun game. I'm kind of weary about playing stuff on my PS4 as a meta thing here because my fan keeps exploding. It keeps sounding like a jet engine. So I'm really not interested in playing a lot of that.
Buy a new one.
I should really just put it off to the side and hope Yakuza gets put on the PC.
Yakuza 6 comes out April 17th, 2018.
So yeah, like next month ish.
Yep.
Yeah, next month, yeah. Because we're in March now.
Unless you're in Japan, in which case it came out 2 years ago.
It's already out. And yeah, so you play as not a hitman, but like a thug for the Japanese mafia.
And Sleeping Dogs?
It's a bit of a Sleeping Dogs vibe. This game takes place in 1980s, so it's very, very stylized to Japan back then.
Yeah.
You've got pagers when people want to contact you and call you, so you have to go find the payphones.
Of course you do.
It's fantastic. There are karaoke sequences where it's not you're not using a microphone, you're just hitting the button prompts, but it is so difficult
Sleeping Dogs did that, and
yeah,
they had a karaoke thing too.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, I remember Sleeping Dogs. Sleeping Dogs was wonderful.
It was.
Yeah, no, like the presentation in Yakuza is fantastic. My one gripe with the game is that there seems to be an inconsistency with the cutscenes. There seems to be 3 separate forms of them. The one where it's in-game engine assets, where they're very static. It's just between 2 characters quickly. Another set of cutscenes where it's kind of pre-rendered. It seems like it's pre-rendered, so it looks really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
And then the third set of cutscenes where it's just 2 characters, like their portraits, talking, and it feels really jarring because you want to pick between one set of cutscenes to use when you want to do character dialogue.
Mm-hmm.
And so I don't know, it's kind of thrown me for a loop, but the gameplay is really cool because when it comes to the combat, you're just so it's a pseudo open world game where you're kind of adventuring around Tokyo in the 1980s, and every once in a while thugs will come up and be like, hey, we need, someone put a hit on your name or something like that, or like.
So it's very Sleeping Dogs.
It's very Sleeping Dogs, but there's no car driving in it though.
Okay.
That's the big difference between this and
Set phase.
it's 1980s, and especially in Japan, not everyone
cars
had.
Back in 1980s.
No one had it. People who had cars in the 1980s were rich, and you are not a rich person.
Not yet.
Not yet, because this is the start of this character's journey into being a mafia boss in the Yakuza.
In the 1980s?
Yeah.
People had cars.
Yeah, no, the people had cars, but
Rich
this
people.
This character didn't. This character does not.
But he can't steal cars?
And no.
Not unless you want to get shot.
A lot of the games takes place in the walking ways of Tokyo. But the combat's actually really, really cool. It's a bit of Batman combat, but it's got its own twist onto it because you can change between the different fighting styles of your character. One fighting style is a little more aggressive, does more damage, but he takes a lot more. What?
Check your WhatsApp.
What are you guys doing?
I didn't do anything.
I'm sending you guys 5 different messages.
Pourquoi?
Because they're 5 different pictures.
Yeah, all at once. Anyways, keep going, Tony.
Yeah, no, I haven't played a whole lot of it because of my PS4 sounding like
a jet engine.
Jet engine.
Pretty keen.
It works. Oh, this one. I've seen these. I've seen this. Visually, it looks really, really good too, as for a PlayStation 4 game.
Stop the dog with the cord stopped moving. No, we're still good. It's making noises.
But yeah, no, I'm super enjoying it at this point. There's more to it than meets the eye. So whenever I get back into it.
How to a boat? Oh, what?
Okay, I've never seen a boat one.
How does it go to a boat?
A boat.
How does a boot turn into a boat?
Thank you.
Like, I get the poutine one.
This one? No,
because when we say a boot, we really mean about.
Poutine. Poutan.
But yeah, that's all I've really been up to. I will probably play a little bit more
I like
Sleeping Dogs. Well, not Sleeping Dogs. Yakuza 0. Because I really want to get into this series. But I'm really hoping a PC port comes sometime. I don't know. I feel it says console exclusive on the box, which leads me to believe that there is a non-console version somewhere.
I like the hoser.
At some point.
PlayStation 4.
And they have said that Yakuza 6 is probably only going to stay on PS4 as well.
Yeah.
Which, what dogs?
Okay.
Yeah. That's sort of been me.
No. Go that way.
Okay.
Without the chords.
Okay. Yeah, so that's been me this week.
There we go.
Black Panther, some movies,
Cool.
Community Day, Pokemon cards all the time.
Huh?
Oh, I got the next.
All right, fine. Be that way.
You're still thinking.
No, I'm good. I got my list.
Go.
You're still thinking.
All right, I'm still thinking. You go, Chris.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go. You guys really suck at this Mexican standoff thing.
I was gonna do rock paper scissors, but he told me I'm not done thinking yet. So no, by
Action
all
for the
means,
people.
by all means, it's all you. I'm gonna go paper.
Go rock.
No, he has to go scissors.
No, go.
I managed to do rock.
All I can imagine is that. All I can remember is that
Fine.
Bob's.
You didn't do anything.
I don't know what it's supposed to do.
The Bob's Burgers episode where they were having an illegal gambling ring under their basement,
Rock,
and all
paper, scissors.
they were playing all rock paper scissors.
Okay, so what did I do? Let's start with Netflix. I started *Halt and Catch Fire*. I finished Gotham season 1, so I decided to, jump again to a new show.
Nice.
*Halt and Catch Fire*.
Yeah.
That's a very tech show that I'm having a hard time following because they're talking mumbo jumbo.
Speaking of very light tech shows, I heard IT Crowd is coming back. Is that actually a thing? I didn't actually look into it.
Yes, sort of.
Oh, okay. No.
There's an American version or something on its way.
Boo. Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, so it takes place in the 80s. Oh, I would say 80s because the third Jedi movie was out because they were in a theater with the Last Jedi. So sometime in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, The Last Jedi?
Yes. No, Return of the Jedi.
Oh,
That's
okay.
what I meant.
I'm like, what?
Return of the Jedi, so it takes place in the
2017.
80s. And they're trying to develop a computer that's supposed to be competitive with IBM, who is like the big company and back in the day.
Yeah, it was either that or... Because Apple wasn't big then yet, was he? Were they?
No.
I don't think Apple was big back then. I think it was like mid-90s they started picking up steam.
But yeah, that's essentially where the show is they're trying to develop a computer and software that can compete with IBM.
Oh yeah.
And beat them.
What? And is it a BBC show or
AMC?
Oh, AMC. On Netflix?
Yes.
Really? An AMC show on Netflix?
Well, there's a couple.
Oh, never mind. I guess Walking Dead is on Netflix.
Walking Dead's on there. Hell on Wheels is on there.
I keep thinking that AMC is like HBO and that they have their own streaming service.
They kind of do, but not really that great.
The button worked. I don't know what it does.
It clipped out our little rock, paper, scissors.
Do it again.
I win.
This is how you win. That's
how do people keep doing this without me? I don't understand rock, paper, scissors.
Yeah, I've only watched 2 episodes, so I'm kind of just getting started with
getting your knees
this
wet.
Season. Get my toes wet. Not my knees. I'm not that deep into it.
Why not?
Like I said, it's some of the lingo is just it's a bit over my head. I'm not a super.
How old is this show? When did it?
It has 4 seasons and it came out kind of the same time as Walking Dead. I think it's still going. It's hard to tell with AMC and their seasons of shows.
Yeah.
Because they're kind of all over the place.
Oh.
Because Into the Badlands is also another one that comes out during like the summer times.
Oh yeah.
What's it called again?
*Halt and Catch Fire*.
Loading.
It has Lee Pace in it.
Yes.
It is very hard to listen to him and not think I'm watching Ronin.
*Halt and Catch Fire*. Yes.
Guardians of the Galaxy Ronin.
2017.
Oh, okay.
It's still
the guy who plays Ronin is.
I've never heard of this.
It's really hard to watch this and not expect him to be smashing people with this hammer. I'm waiting for him to do it.
I don't think that.
I don't think it's going to happen.
No,
you don't know that.
I don't think it's that kind of. I don't think this is that kind of show.
No, probably not. That also had one of the guys from the One Shot with the Mandarin one, the reporter.
Mm-hmm.
He's also a character in it, a main character. But yeah, so far, far it's okay.
1983 Dallas
Yes,
enigmatic visionary, an engineer, and a computer progeny join forces to create a faster, cheaper PC that will challenge IBM.
Yep, there you go. Pretty summed it up right there. I also watched Free Fire on Netflix. It's
What kind of weird crap are you watching?
this is also based in the 70s movie. It has
A lot of period pieces for yourself this
right?
week.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel lady
Brie Larson.
Brie Larson as the kind of only female in this movie is in one location throughout the whole movie, and it's a standoff. It's a gun deal gone bad.
So it's a bottle episode, is what you're telling me?
Yes, one big bottle episode, and they're trying
It's
to
one shot. It's one take. What's one take?
They're trying to get out of this, or they're trying to get out of it. Everybody's trying to get out of this.
Yep.
Or kill each other,
Mm-hmm.
whichever one. But it's not a huge standoff. It's like 4 or 5 people on each
It sounds
side.
like a battle royale thing, but in the one bottle like room.
It's interesting because it has a fair amount of big names in it too, like Charlotte, the guy from District 9.
Oh yeah, I know who. Yeah, I just
That's
can't
what
remember the
I'm
name.
talking about.
I just can't remember the name.
District 9 had aliens in it,
Elysium?
right?
Something like that.
Cool.
Elysium,
Sure.
Elysium.
that's the one. I'm thinking
Yeah, still
Never
out.
seen it. I know the movie.
of.
I know a lot of people wanted it, were like, this movie's amazing, and I'm like, that's nice.
A-Team,
Yes?
the pilot.
All right.
There we go. See,
Oh, yeah,
I just had to go
yeah.
through my bunch of
You
movies
got it. You got it.
in my head.
You
He's in it.
have some weird associations in your brain. The guy that was
I'm
in
just gonna-
A-Team was in a movie
like-
with another guy.
Well, no, because it's same thing as what he was talking about earlier. 3 billboards, and you know the characters.
Yep.
but
You just
don't-
got to go through the movies that they possibly are in to try
and the guy from Inception that was getting his brain, or people jumping into his brain.
They were jumping into a lot of brains in that movie.
No, the main guy they were trying to jump
Oh.
into, trying to turn him against his father.
Leonardo DiCaprio was in that movie.
The other one.
No, but he was in that movie.
He played Scarecrow in
He played
Batman.
Scarecrow,
Oh,
yes.
that guy. All right.
He's
He's been in a lot of stuff.
He's also in
Yeah.
Free Fire.
Yeah, okay.
But yes, it's
I like him. He's good.
interesting. Is it? Like I said, it's just in this one location, and they're trying to.
He's in Inception.
Yes. He was the first
Are you
guy.
gonna watch it now?
You've never seen Inception?
I've seen it.
Oh.
That's how much I remember it.
It's to
It's
be
a good movie.
no pun intended, but that movie is like a fever dream. There's so much stuff going in that movie.
Leonardo DiCaprio's in it.
It's a party
JGL is in it.
Yeah, JGL's in it.
If you honestly told me to pick Tom Hardy out of a lineup, no clue.
Oh boy.
Tom Hardy does the thing where
You
he
need
puts down
to
an assault rifle and has a grenade launcher at the end of it. No,
There was guns in that movie.
in Inception.
Yeah.
He's the one that pretended to be a woman. Or he turned into a woman to seduce another guy in the mind.
Yes.
Leonardo DiCaprio was in that movie.
Ellen Page is in that movie.
She is.
You should really watch that.
Inception
movie.
has a ton of people in it.
Yep.
Surprising amount of people.
Emily Blunt.
No, actually, no.
No.
Nah, well, then I'm out.
I'm thinking you're getting.
Emily Blunt.
Why? What?
I don't know. Who was his wife?
We don't know.
They didn't show her.
Oh,
We see more of
Their
the kids. We see more of the kids than anything.
You don't know who the kids are. It has Alfred. What's his
Michael
name?
Caine?
Yes, that one. He's in Inception too.
Oh yeah. But he was in the only like the beginning portion though.
Is it Morgan Freeman in it? No. Okay. Anyways,
We're getting Inception mixed with Batman, Dark Knight.
Christopher Nolan movies, whatever. But yes, Free Fire is an interesting one. Yeah, I don't know.
Speaking of one shot, like one bottle things, that fight scene in Black Panther in the casino, oh, so good.
Yeah, it was good.
I love anytime filmmakers can do something in one shot. Blows my mind. Like
There's probably a lot of stuff cut together.
it is, but it looks so good when it's done though. The one shot, like the panning between different sequences. There's
trick is when they go by a pillar.
yeah,
That's
the
the
cuts.
cut.
It's the cut, but it's so satisfying to watch. I
Well,
think,
it is because
like, that is
there's
my-
no break in the action.
and mentally it's the most I don't want to say. I think that's my favorite thing in filmmaking to watch is the like the non-break action sequences, like in Daredevil, like in that sequence. Edgar Wright is a master of the one shot or the one take.
Yeah.
Think of like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah.
When he's going from his apartment to the store and back to his apartment.
Yeah. That was good.
Like that. Hot Fuzz has a few of those as well. But yeah, no, that one shot, that one take in Black Panther, whether or not it was taken in one take or not.
I'm looking up Inception. We're fine.
In Nick's brain, Inception never actually happened. So we need to.
It was a dream.
Maybe it could have been. Started dreaming about Leonardo DiCaprio one night. And
Yeah.
I'm like, that was a weird movie.
JGL was in it, and Ellen Page was.
Do you know who JGL is?
What? Joseph Gordon-Levitt?
Okay, good.
Only because I just looked up his name.
Should probably watch that movie again.
He's Robin.
He's not Robin.
He's not Robin, but he's
older
Robin.
He's
Robin.
He is not Robin.
Nightwing.
He's Robin, but not Robin.
Nightwing.
Robin,
It was
but
a
not
really
Robin.
bad Easter egg for a
It was a really dumb.
mediocre.
He's good. He's an acrobat by secret.
Okay.
He's not really a
No.
policeman.
No.
He's an acrobat.
No.
Should have stopped after
Nope.
the second one.
Oh, well. Anywho.
Digressing! Yay!
Leonardo DiCaprio was not in that movie.
Inception?
No, Batman.
Or do you think that? Are you sure? Maybe you remember wrong.
I don't know anymore.
Apparently, we gotta get your memory checked.
Batman was
Or
actually just
fish.
Inception 2. Batman was just Inception 2.
That makes a lot more sense.
No,
The third Batman movie was really the second.
No, the
Inception
trilogy,
movie.
the trilogy, the whole Batman, the Dark Knight trilogy was just
Inception
those three
2.
movies were Inception 2 all together.
Leo was probably an extra on.
He was
That'd be funny.
he was the film. He was on the
He was a
camera.
thug.
He was behind the
He
camera.
got beats up by Batman.
He's got like a balaclava on, yeah.
He's behind the camera. He's just filming. He's the
Camera guy.
He's the camera
Totally.
dude. He's got boom mic.
Uh,
Leo, what are you doing? Shut up.
The mic's on screen. You're on screen.
Up, higher. You're higher.
Lowers it down.
That's how he got an Oscar. Finally.
Okay.
Still doing the pre-sequel.
Oh yeah.
I think I've opened it up now where I'm actually doing more missions, so which is getting more into it.
Nice.
So I'm getting used to the whole air thing
The what?
because it's in space.
Yeah,
so
oh,
you
yeah,
have
so
to
you
have,
got
you have an air pack essentially.
Oh, so you have another number that counts down.
Yes.
Oh,
So you have to watch that,
cool.
or you die.
Cool.
Cool.
Oh. I'm just not a fan of games that have numbers that drop down that you need to manage. I feel like that's
Health bars.
Yeah, but health bar is a different thing though. Like numbers like oxygen, hunger, thirst.
Depends on the game.
Metal Gear
This one
Survive.
has
No, I don't
shield,
want to.
health, oxygen.
Metal Gear Survive does not make sense to me. The Forest, the whole point is you've crash landed and have to actually survive.
Correct.
So that's where hunger and thirst.
But like health
make
and
sense.
shield doesn't. I don't count that because you're.
What
I
about
feel-
bullets? Count your bullets.
That's another number.
Yeah, that's another number. Yeah.
That's also one that goes down
Yep, it does.
and goes up.
It
There you
can,
go.
but you have to.
Yep.
Yep.
Yeah, it's just resource management. So it depends on the game. Like, yeah,
does.
if you're in space, they throw air into
Right,
it.
Yes,
but it doesn't
yeah.
make sense in Survive to have hunger, thirst, and oxygen at some point.
Unless there's no oxygen where you are. Like underwater.
The dust storm.
Okay, that doesn't really make much sense.
Yes.
Then
Correct.
yes.
So pre-sequel.
Getting more into it now
Yeah.
because it's opened up for me essentially.
Is it still a fairly linear game, or because I know
have you played
Borderlands?
the Borderlands? It's essentially the same thing.
Not. The only one I haven't played is the pre-sequel.
These are all these
They're
three
all the
games
same.
are the same thing.
Okay, that's good.
Other than the Telltale game, which is something totally
That's
different.
wild. That's wildly
It
different.
still ties into it. It's after number 2,
Mhm.
but it's different.
Like I said, I keep making it to the same point in Borderlands 1, and I'm like, oh, good game. And I just stop playing.
I think that Borderlands
Maybe
is
you
a
have
very.
to play with someone.
You need
can
to play-
You can
Probably.
play co-op on that. And it's
Borderlands,
actually
when
really
I
fun.
played
And again, it's
multiplayer-
not that it's a bad game. I kind of just get to the one point, and that takes me long enough where I'm like, okay, and then something else comes out, so I play that, and then Borderlands kind of
Well, yeah,
takes
it's
a
very-
side.
This is me jumping in different games.
Yeah.
It's very much the Destiny thing too, because you can't play Destiny alone.
Yes, you can. I've
Two?
done it. Yep, I've done it.
I don't know. I feel like you'd have infinitely more time, better time.
I don't
playing.
like hearing people's annoying voices on there.
Sorry, my voice is annoying.
You're not on Destiny 2 with me.
That's true.
I'm talking about my
You
brother.
would have infinitely much more fun.
I'm talking about my brother.
People have way more fun when they play with the rest of us. Unless they're actually serious about their games, in which case they do not have fun with us.
I don't know.
I can turn it on and off.
We need to get to a computer.
Or just play Fortnite or Escapist or.
We need to do the Fortnite thing with you.
Sure, one day. What else is there? I finished Far Cry 3.
Cool.
Nice.
Yeah.
I was a little disappointed by that end boss. It was essentially a QuickTime event.
Oh.
Those are the good boss fights.
But he wasn't really he was the boss, but he didn't feel like the boss.
Who's the boss?
Well, no, because
Yeah.
before you go into Far Cry 3, you know
Yes.
it's that one guy that does the insanity talk.
Yeah.
You know he's a big guy, and I felt that he was more of the main villain than the actual main villain.
Right.
Because that guy with the insanity, I think his name is Voss.
Yeah.
Now
He's a henchman of the main boss.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong. Is Far Cry 3 the one where you pick up malaria, or is that Far Cry 2?
That's 2.
2. Okay, so I'm thinking of two different ones.
3 is an island. You got kidnapped on an island.
Okay.
You were on a vacation or whatever, and you got
With your
kidnapped.
buddies, right? Like you're a dude.
Family and friend.
You're like I thought you were like a dude bro at the B. I felt like that was
You were,
kind of
but you had your brothers there too,
All right.
and it was your girlfriends.
That's right. That's what I.
And your friend. It was a
Okay, I remember
friend
that
trip.
Because I'm like I started that game. I remembered. I'm like I feel like I'm a douchebag.
You are
I liked
kind of a
4.
dude.
Yeah.
You're dumb.
Yeah, like I felt
You're
that.
very
way.
dumb.
I really like 4. 4 is pretty cool. I
Still
remember
gotta
4.
get to
I don't think I ever did 4, because I never finished 3, and I'm like.
As far as colors and visual design goes, that's so much brighter than 3. But 3 has got all the gameplay elements that 4 basically took and made better. So
Yeah, and I mean, the boss is good as a villain, but it's just his main boss, Hoyt or whatever his name is. It was a QuickTime event.
Oh.
Did you actually fight Voss though?
That one is more of a challenge than.
Because in my mind, Voss was always the bigger, like he's the one that you see first off the out of the gate. So I feel like maybe that's why they do that.
And he was the one that had all the talk. He was the one that was hunting you for most of the
I feel like they did that because they probably got to the end and they're like, that wasn't climactic enough. Let's make Voss have a boss. And they're like, that feels very stringed on.
Both those kind of boss battles kind of had, it was a drug induced kind of thing.
Sure.
It's almost like your character went into a blind rage and but it broke it down as kind of a dreamy sequence, I guess. Because this is, I guess, kind of spoiler if you haven't played Far Cry 3.
Too late. It's been out long enough.
I know.
Yeah, it's
For that final
Far Cry
boss,
6 is,
you're
or
playing
5 is
poker.
coming out. So
You think you're trapping because you're with another dude that's working with you, who's also kind of working for the main boss. You're at a poker game. He ends up killing him, and then you're like, oh. Then we get to this quick action sequence where you end up and I beat him, and it turns out all the bodyguards are around. I killed at the same time.
Oh.
So it was like I went into a rage and.
Did you
killed
ever
everyone.
feel like you were never gonna win? Like you were destined to beat that final sequence? Because it feels like final
Well, it was
boss battle.
tougher because it felt like the controls were like super fast. You had to be. It was the same buttons every time, but as soon as you knew what they were, you just.
Oh,
jump
so it
ahead.
wasn't even randomized.
No.
So
See, like I feel like Voss was probably meant as their final boss, and it wasn't climactic enough.
But Voss, you had to fight to get to him because you're in a compound, which is fine.
Yeah.
You get to him, and it kind of goes through that dream type sequence where you're kind of going down a zigzag path, but there's a whole bunch of him running at you.
Oh yeah. So you have to keep
And you have to keep shooting and to keep moving forward at the same time. And that was it. That was his.
See, I feel like that was probably they didn't feel that was climactic enough, so they added an extra.
But the thing is,
yeah, but QuickTime events are not.
I get that.
It's a bandage fix.
It is
to make something. I remember playing one of the Uncharted games, the Vita one.
Yeah.
And the final boss fight is literally you swiping up and down on that screen, thinking like this seems like a really poor implementation of a final encounter.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, I think.
Especially in an Uncharted game.
Well, the thing is, Hoyt was introduced before you even kill Voss.
Oh yeah.
As the boss of him.
Boss of boss.
I get that, but like they can do that. I feel like they got to Voss and they're like, all right, finish that scene. People were testing it, going like,
There should be more.
It's missing something. Like,
and so and then they went back into the game, into the middle of the game, and added a boss into it.
Yeah.
I could see that.
That's what it sounds like, because otherwise there's no point to a quick time event for a boss.
And the final boss too is because after you kill a boss, there's not many more missions where you go into the final boss.
Yeah.
Or either that, or I just went through them super fast.
Maybe, but yeah, like
it didn't seem like that much. More was invested into Voss than it was the
right. Because that's what my thought the whole time was. It was always Voss was supposed to be the weird. Because for the amount I played that game, that's what I in my mind.
That's what you would think. Even with the, I remember the E3
introduction
trailer when he's doing the definition of insanity.
Yeah.
Speech to you twice. And he's like, okay, this guy's psycho.
Yeah, and clearly the bad guy.
No.
But no, and I mean, it does go on farther past the boss. There's like one mission. Well, actually, after I kill him, I have to escape the compound and then go on a helicopter ride and shoot. But that's about the extent of.
So,
that.
like a on-rail shooter sequence after that.
Pretty much.
Oh.
And
Those
then
are the two things you don't want to see in a final.
And then it goes on to.
The end of a fight.
And then it goes like there's a mission afterwards, but it has, and then that gives you a choice.
See, I don't mind smaller quick time events at a boss, but that's once you've.
If it's the core of the encounter.
Right, like if I have to shoot him in the.
Because you're in a poker game, and then it does that where the other guy gets stabbed in the neck, and then it's like, hey, and then apparently you go into it. He says something, and you go into kind of like a blind rage.
Yeah, like that's my thing is if you had to shoot him in the knees 3 times, and then he got weak, and you had to run up and do a specific, do a specific key press
like
for
it
a
broke
quick
it down
time
where
event.
you're slowly slashing away at him.
Yeah, no.
But it's still a quick time.
No.
Yeah, you use it for cinematic sequences.
Yeah.
Not
the entire fight.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, that's stupid.
So, I mean, like, the end boss was kind of underwhelming, I guess, for such a good game.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did a bit of trophy hunting after that. I think I'm done with this game for a while.
I think you'd...
Well, because there's co-op trophies, and when there's co-op trophies, I don't even bother, because it's...
I don't have Far Cry 3.
Well, I could probably try and convince my brother to come down and play it, but he's going to complain that the PS3 controller is so much smaller than the PS4.
It's the same size.
No, it's not.
I feel like it's the same.
You have a big thing in the middle of PS4, in the middle that expands it out.
I guess so. I'm also been on PC lately, so for me...
I play my Switch.
You've got a giant thing in the middle.
Not if I play it one way. I have nothing in the middle.
Then I started Ratchet and Clank.
Oh, yeah.
Never
The
played that.
reboot.
HD.
Oh, the HD.
Yeah, it's PS3.
Okay.
So I played the HD. I'm actually surprised at how open that game was.
It's a technical marvel. It's one of those few PS2 games that you think about how they did it back then.
It's
insane.
It does remind me of Spyro, but with guns, essentially.
Spyro with guns,
but
you
can move around
at the time, though.
But you can move around, but it's still you have to do these certain things in this level.
Yeah.
I can't remember. Did the old Ratchet games have lock-on or?
Not really.
Okay, I'm trying to remember.
I'm not too far into it. I got bombs and I got a flamethrower.
Because it's basically the more you use the guns, the more level you get with it, right? That's how it worked.
No.
Maybe not in the first one.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's just the first one.
I think I had that game.
Because I think the big piece was that if the more you use this blaster, the more it'll level up naturally. I'm like, that seems really normal in a game for this. Like you'd think that you'd have to funnel bits or something into the gun.
I might not be far into it, but yeah. And then Mario Rabbids has got me to a point of frustrating. So
Ragecom. Rage. It's not.
Well, I got to the same. I did the same point again, where it's I tried 3 different ways to try and do it, and it's because they bounce me out.
Welcome
because
to
these guys have, or some of them have bounce.
Can you not like respec your characters to go like optimize that
bounce?
Yeah.
Nope. You can't stop that. You can't stop their weapons from hitting you with their special. You can't stop it.
Can
that was one of my coworkers has been doing XCOM 2, and he's like, so all of my squad died yesterday. Like his 4 main guys that he's been playing with for half the game. He's like, we wiped, and I'm like, well, game over. And he's like, well, no, XCOM 2 you can like buy forces so that you're not just like stuck with a bunch of level 1 guys again.
Oh, that's nice.
He tried. They all died too. He's like restarting.
Yeah, it's a pain.
Ragecom.
Try the internet Chris, they might be able to help.
OopTube tutorials. OopTube tutorials.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like,
As long as it's not pay to win.
Well, there's those guys that have the same thing as Mario, where they have the site.
Yeah.
Where they can do that. I've kind of found a way around that. Because I'll use either Luigi or Rabid Princess.
Yeah.
Now, they have those little carts, and I just send them out, and
they shoot the carts.
They have to shoot the carts.
Yeah.
So.
Now, if you only use, like, say, 4 characters, and you want to switch, or the 3 characters, and you want to switch to one of your older ones, do they come in under-leveled?
No. Well, you have to upgrade them at the same time.
You can upgrade them all.
Okay, so it's not just like, oh, I need to use someone else, but I haven't used them since the start of the game.
No, you're good. They level up.
Well, you have to, but the weapons might need to be purchased.
You need to purchase weapons and all that jazz.
But their skill points, you can go at any point and kind of upgrade them.
Oh, that's good. That's handy then.
Yeah.
It's not so much like, oh,
you're not stuck with like Rabid Luigi being level 1 because you haven't used him since the beginning of the game, sort of thing.
I remember.
Oh no, that's my constant guy.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, if he's not your constant, and all of a sudden you're like, oh crap, I need this guy.
Because I know
you don't bring him into the fight, and he's like,
I'm ready for the fight. I'm a brand new. Hey, how's it going?
Yeah,
boom,
no.
dead in one.
Yeah.
I remember in Final Fantasy VIII that my squall was massively over leveled compared to everyone
because I only use the same 3 people all the time, and then they split me up in that last flippin' frickin' place, and all of a sudden they're like, here, fight the end boss with 3 random characters, and I'm like, are you flippin' serious?
Yeah. So
I cheated to finish that game.
I didn't even finish it.
Yeah, I might have to Google it.
Yeah.
It's been frustrating.
OopTube's are really good.
Trying to do anything.
Really good tutorials on all.
Other than that, just trying to figure out how to edit music.
Sweet. Look at you.
Audacity. Trying to figure out how to use that system.
Odd.
Yeah, it is. I know. It's very
Audacity's...
technological, and I'm.
Are you editing? Are you being a musician?
I am trying to edit swears out of music so I can use them in hockey games that I do music for.
You can just find them online. You know that, right?
And Beautiful People does not have a clean version.
No, you find it on YouTube and then find the track and then rip it online.
But that's a whole different process, and
I think that's easier.
That one.
That's way easier than editing this.
No, I've actually figured out how to do it.
All right, Audacity.
Okay, if you want to ask, go crazy on it.
Good, because I have no idea how to use Audacity. So
I'm sure.
Now. I actually watched YouTube videos for that. Because a guy took on a section, he's like, you people who are old like me would know this. How they did it on the radio, where they actually reversed the word.
Wait, what?
I've
never noticed that.
That's how they did it back in the older days on the radio, is they actually took that section and they reversed the word.
I never noticed that.
See, and it depends on the DJ now, what they do.
I tried it, and I'm sorry for any kids that are watching.
Yeah.
The word was motherfucker.
Yeah.
And that's a longer swear.
Yeah.
Yes, that's a.
So I tried to reverse it, and I was like, no.
That's still not a word?
Well, it's such a long word, you can definitely tell that I reversed it.
Yeah.
Well, if you're only using it for, like, clips...
I found cutting it out was better.
I was going to say, you can only use...
silence there for...
It's not even, it's...
You probably only need it for, like, 30 seconds tops, right? Like, and there's probably...
Because it's a quick word, it's, like, 2 seconds.
No, like a clip of it with no swears.
If you're playing songs during intermission and stuff, you got... Yeah.
Oh, I guess so.
Yeah, it's a little tougher.
Yeah. Either way, if you've got the hang of Audacity...
I think I have. If all I have to do is reverse it or just cut it, I'm good. I know how to do that.
You either blank it out or put it...
Well, I tried to figure out a way to just make a sound.
Yeah.
But I
put a little thing over it.
Yeah,
because the demonstration the guy used was shit. And he reversed it, and dish.
Yeah.
It just, you couldn't even tell.
Yeah, you try to make it as natural as possible, too.
Yeah. The other word I tried was not natural at all.
Oh, no.
So I just cut it.
And that's fine.
It's just a voiceover of, like, Chris going, like, shoot!
Yeah. Like,
mother trucker!
Like the TBS Superstation when they show it's like, I am too old for this, like, mother trucking cripe.
Well, there was
it's just Chris's voice.
My nephew watches a show
on
Netflix called Storybots.
Okay. What?
Yeah, it's a kids show.
Okay,
sure.
And the whole that episode was about rain and how it happened, and they turned it into a ride where the water's collecting, and then once it's mass, it drops. And on the way down, as the rain is falling to earth, one of the raindrops is Yippee-ki-yay, Mother Nature.
Oh,
Oh, my nephew's gonna start saying that.
Yippee kayak, other buckets.
I'm just thinking of from Brooklyn. I just rewatched that episode.
Yeah, so did I. Wow, this show has a lot of guest stars.
Storybots?
Yeah.
It has Kevin Smith in it.
The second episode. The first episode has Jay Leno.
Yep.
Whoopi Goldberg's on the third episode.
Yep.
Garfunkel and Oates is on the fourth episode.
Yep.
Weird Al's on the fifth episode.
Feeding berries to a Pokemon in a gym.
The show actually looks half decent.
It's a kid's show.
I get that.
What kind of show is this? Is it like a...
It's a learning show.
Kind of looks like... what's that vegetable show again?
VeggieTales?
VeggieTales? Yeah, I get...
VeggieTales apparently is actually religious.
It's super
It is religious. It is a religious show. You're
But
right.
this isn't. This just teaches you about different things.
But this looks like... Okay, but there's educational shows.
This is...
This looks like a
Idiot.
decent educational show.
If you want, watch it. I've seen those episodes about 20 times now.
I will not watch it by myself, but like...
Watch it when your nephew's here.
That's what I mean. Like, but if my nephew's here, this actually looks like a decent enough...
Something that's not Paw
And you would
Patrol.
get kind of the...
Well, because, like, honestly, kids' shows these days are...
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the heck?
It's just junk. Because
You would recognize the guest stars in it.
Yeah, like, yeah, for an adult, that's always fun when you're watching a kid's show.
For the 10th time.
Yeah.
I've watched that show so many times.
Okay, look how I just looked up the word story.
Storybots, there's the ASA Storybots, and then there's Storybots songs.
I see that story about super songs.
Those are actually interesting. I like those, actually. The dinosaur one is actually
Outer
really
space and the body, dinosaurs and vehicles, shapes and colors,
Are you
animals
just-
and emotions,
Are you just saying words?
professions
Nope,
and
it's
farm
different.
animals.
Because they break it up into kind of two
Fun
things.
songs.
Well, it's two sections, right? It's
Yeah.
the body and
I don't
Whatever.
believe you. I don't
Outer
believe
space
you.
and
outer
the
space.
body.
They half of the episode is based off the space and talking about the universe.
Yeah.
It starts with the sun, then it goes to the moon, then it goes to the 9 planets, and then it sings a song about the Earth.
Yeah, because no one even uses puppets anymore. Like, this is the other, like, it's just really bad 3D animation. And
These
that's
guys are
all you
not
get for...
puppets.
No, but I get that, but it actually looks like decent 3D animation.
Yeah.
Again, that's my problem is like, just because they're kids doesn't mean they don't deserve well done television.
And he also watches Super Y, which is fairy tale characters learning how to share and...
Okay, but that's all kids shows are.
But anyways, that's mine.
Cool.
Week.
Cool.
Didn't give me enough time to
Well, then
prepare.
Dark World, but
Oh, yeah. For your Marvel rewatch.
Yeah.
How do you feel about Dark World?
it's all right.
First movie to introduce an Infinity Stone and actually call it an Infinity Stone.
Straight up.
And
Called
they-
multiple.
then they- but then they
called
also-
multiple Infinity Stones.
Yeah, then
on
they
top
also
of it.
called the Tesseract was a...
But that's what I mean. It's the first movie that actually went like, hey,
We've got
they
this bigger
are.
thing
guess
going.
what's around? Yep. Because that someone was complaining about Dark World, and they're like, do you realize that was the movie that set this whole Infinity Stone thing running?
To be fair,
It was already kind
that
of
sequence
going.
could have been put into almost any
could have
post-credit
been.
sequence. It could have been in any post-credit sequence too.
Yeah.
Yes, and with the collector who would
Yeah.
say 1 down,
Yeah,
Yes.
5 to go.
I know. All right. I watched the newest episode of the Joel McHale show.
I did
with Joel
too.
McHale.
I've been watching them too.
His second episode was much better than the first episode.
I still like the
Who was guest starring that time?
Kristen
Bell was on this one.
I still like the promo where he's walking through the Netflix offices and he meets up with whoever does Luke Cage, Mike Coulter. He's like, "What are you doing here?" It was like, Netflix is getting me a show where I talk about stuff. They finally did it. They ran out of ideas. Yes, they did. And he just keeps going forward. I'm like,
The self-deprecating humor.
Oh, that's great.
No, the first episode, it was like, okay, you're getting your feet. The second episode, it's like, okay, you're back.
Yeah,
We're feeling comfortable again.
we're doing the same thing.
We're getting more on par with what we're used to.
And I do like the internet stuff that they've been slowly feeding their way into the show, like
Well,
internet bits.
All the interviews he's done.
No, the internet stuff.
I know, but all the interviews he's done, he talked about.
Yeah, it feels natural. It's not just like shoving it in.
Well, all the
for-
stuff for the States, he's like, all the reality TV show involves our, moronic president, and I don't want to cover that. So he's like,
It is a reality show on its own.
Right. He's like, we're just finding stuff from anywhere else that we can find it and making fun of it. So
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to do some Bollywood stuff.
Oh, they'll get there.
Yeah, I'm waiting for him to cover some Bollywood things.
They'll get there. And then I watched Thor Ragnarok.
Yes, it's out digitally now, isn't it?
Yes, it is. And then Google Play did the bundle
For
Thor.
All Thors?
All 3 Thor movies.
Okay.
And
see, I already have 2.
but see, I didn't have 2 of them digital. Like I didn't have the first 2 digitally.
Uh-huh.
So I'm like, and it came to like $10 a movie. So I'm like, well, this is stupid not to.
Well, yeah.
I'm still
Yeah.
gonna reserve myself for the big box thing that comes out because that usually has all the digital codes in it, anyways.
Yeah, I'm not waiting that long because I got to watch Thor Ragnarok again.
I can find it.
Good movie. We've talked about Thor
Yep.
enough.
Yep.
I watched Chris Rock's new special on Netflix.
Oh,
Yes.
stand-up stuff.
Yeah. He was like okay to start with, and then he got about partway through, and he started talking about his divorce, and it just got
Chris Rock,
kind of mopey.
Chris Rock, I can stand so little of him.
Chris Rock's always been funny because it's always been like the black man versus the white guy
Yeah.
and like all of that stuff, and he does such a good job of pulling it off without actually offending anybody because you're just like, yeah, you know, it's funny. You do a good job of this.
You're ironic against.
But this one, all of a sudden, it's just like the funniest part of the whole divorce thing was when he was talking about family court trying to get custody of his kids.
Yeah.
And he's like, never be a black man in family court. Because the judge is still asking him for pictures of, like, the kids' bedrooms to make sure they have a bed and, like, the fridge to make sure that there's food in it. And it's like, you know who I am? Like, that's the thing. He started talking about his divorce, and it's just like, and then he's trying to give, like, marital advice sort of thing and this and that and everything. And you're going, can you just not and do a comedy special, please? Like, you stopped doing a comedy special and started doing, you know...
Yeah.
And I get it. Like, I watched Patton Oswalt's latest comedy special on Netflix. And he, right around the end of his show, he's like, I have to do this. And he has to talk about the death of his wife and all of that stuff because it was so sudden and this and that and everything else. And he's like, so I'm really sorry to kind of bring this down. And he's like, but there are jokes involved.
Yeah.
And he's like, but everybody asks and everybody wants to know, so I figure I'll just get it out there. So for him, it was one thing. For, like, Chris Rock to talk about his divorce, which was his fault because he cheated.
Yeah.
You're going, okay.
I kind of want to watch Chelsea Peretti's.
Hers is good. I like her specials.
Yeah.
Her stuff's good. There's a new one there, like, on Netflix that they announced, and it was, you know, the headliner on my TV upstairs.
Yeah.
So when you just turn Netflix on, it's the first, like, it just starts playing the promo. Except it's some Spanish stand-up comedian.
Huh.
And you have to read all the subtitles.
I don't want to read.
And I'm like, well, I don't mind reading subtitles for specific films. I'm not reading a stand-up comic's subtitles. You are going to miss 90% of the jokes.
You know, you've watched too much stand-up.
And a lot of it has to do with
when.
Yeah.
And a lot of those jokes are very cultural too, where it's very specific.
Or it's the tone of their, like, you know...
Because you're reading it not as fast as they're saying it.
It can be the pace of their voice.
Yeah.
Like, there is so much to comedy. You cannot put it in subtitles.
And you know what? All the power to the people who can understand the language. They'll probably enjoy
It's
it
great,
far more.
but then, like...
And vice versa can be said for our stand-ups as well here.
For French, whatever, speaking,
Yeah.
sure. But, like, I'm sitting there going, why is this on Canadian Netflix one of their headlining promo things?
You've watched all the other ones already.
Apparently I've watched all the other and I haven't watched all the other stand-up because I start half of them and they're like, I hate my wife. And you're like, done. Because that's all they do for the rest of their show.
Yeah.
So Chris Rock's watch the first half.
Yeah.
No.
And then turn it off. As soon as he starts talking about getting divorced, just turn it off and I'll relay you the rest of the, like, family court joke. Paddington Bear.
You watched it, hey?
We watched the... Okay, here's the thing.
And this is on the Netflix.
No, we had
no.
to... we PVR'd it because we can't find it anywhere.
You just buy it.
Find it.
Well, here's the shtick. Because the second one came out, and I went, wow, they managed to pull off a second one.
They got money to do it.
Then I went on the internet. People love this movie. It got great reviews. People actually like it. Like, it's not like it just got good reviews, but people online are like, yeah, unexpectedly good movie. And I'm going,
off of Paddington Bear?
Yeah, that sounds weird.
Paddington. Like, I'm expecting Garfield type. You know, they did a live action Garfield movie.
Yeah.
The live
I
action
remember
Chipmunks
that.
movie. Like, this is what I'm expecting out of Paddington. Because not that I don't like Paddington Bear. I grew up watching Paddington Bear. You know, we have the books. We are, you know,
Yes,
we are
working at
Paddington-esque people.
We're in that generation.
Like, I know Paddington. I didn't want this movie to, you know, make me go, oh, you know, to heck with Paddington.
So
either way, my wife and I were both sitting there going, like, will people like it? So she found it on TV and she recorded it. So we watched it last night. It was actually a really surprisingly good movie. But then if you read all of the trivia behind it, the people making this movie were all from the UK. It's the producers from the Harry Potter film. And they were all super scared of screwing up such an iconic UK icon that they actually did a really good job of translating his character to the big screen.
Oh, good.
So as not to screw up and have everyone mad at them. And I'm like, kudos?
the fear of failure.
The fear of being hated by an entire nation
drove them to
make a good movie. So I'm like, So then I looked up the second one and it's not out yet. But when it
just came out.
But then at least the second one I'll be like, okay, I'll buy this because it's getting the same kind of praise as the first one did. And I'm like, all right, like
we'll make a third one.
Yeah, so I'm just like, that's actually
all
surprisingly.
Of the Paddington Bear.
And I think part of it too, like the visual effects on Paddington, are pretty good.
Because when did the movie come out? Like 2-ish years ago.
2-ish years ago. But it almost looks like I had to look it up, and I still can't really find concrete stuff on the behind the scenes stuff. But like his hat and the coat and stuff, they did such a good job on. It looks like they literally put, the hat and the coat on a person in like a green suit and had them walking around because the hat and the coat look legit. He looks a little off, but he's a talking bear.
Yeah.
Which they introduced right off the bat of like the beginning of the movie. Some explorer goes to darkest Peru, finds these two bears that can kind of speak.
Grandma bear and
aunt and uncle.
It's just Andy Serkis in a green screen.
I don't know.
In a green suit. It's Andy Serkis. Yeah. Just trust me. It's
always Andy Serkis.
If it's a green suit actor.
Well, and the movie's dark, so like opening up on Paddington.
Like what? Like violently dark?
Like super dark.
Like what? His owner gets killed.
So, like, opens up with black and white. This explorer from an explorers guild goes to darkest Peru. Think almost Up with that old film reel of the guy exploring with his blimp and going off. This guy goes to Peru, goes exploring, sees a bear, about to shoot the bear to bring a specimen home, and then one of the bears is all like, and he's like, oh my, like, and then all of a sudden the bears are intelligent enough to kind of speak and to understand sort of what he's saying and all that stuff. So he's like, oh man, what cool bears, and they have a house and all this other stuff that's built in the trees, and he's
so it's like Berenstain Bears.
Well, so he's sitting there and he like the explorer leaves them behind, but he leaves them with all this stuff, and he looks at the bears. If you ever come to London, kind of as a joke, like you'll always be welcomed.
Yeah.
And then it goes, and he leaves them with marmalade, which comes to the whole like Paddington bear eating crap tons of marmalade.
Yes.
And it flings into like the farther future, like 40 years. These two bears are now quite old. They are the aunt and uncle to the bear with no name, because he doesn't have a name till he gets to London. But he has a name, but it's a bear name. To make that joke quite they have a couple of good jokes with that. But he's picking an orange because they've managed to now figure out how to make their own marmalade.
Yeah.
So it's all happy, cheery, they're having a great time, and all of a sudden there's an earthquake. And him and the aunt make it to the bunker. And the uncle pretty much gets crushed by a giant tree and dies in a earthquake. And I'm like,
natural causes.
Kids, natural causes kill things.
Well, I was just sitting there going, it's like Up. It's like the the beginning of Up. You're like 15 minutes in, and I'm like,
no, I still haven't watched Up.
You've never seen Up?
You should see Up.
I own it, and I just haven't gotten
Up's
around.
delightful.
Yeah.
Except that first 15 minutes. Prepare for heartbreak, but...
Spoilers.
But, I'm sitting there going, and my wife's just like, well, he has to go to London for, some reason. So his aunt puts him on a boat, and she's like, I'm going to a home for retired bears. And I'm like, what does that mean? She actually ends up in a home for retired bears.
Okay.
Again, this movie's a little off the wall, but it realizes it can be off the wall because it's based off of a kid's book / cartoon.
Yeah.
we can go a little kooky with some of the sight gags.
Huh.
So, yeah, like, all in all, fairly decent, heartwarming flick with
Makes you wonder about Peter Rabbit. 'Cause Peter Rabbit's a UK thing too, isn't it?
Yeah, but I don't think the directors cared as much because that movie looks like poop. I'd have to check on reviews and stuff.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing, like, Paddington I thought was junk, following in line with all those other movies, until I looked up reviews and stuff. And
Yeah,
I'm
Garfield did not paint a good picture for
Well, no, a lot of those
cartoons
didn't.
to live action. Smurfs was okay.
Smurfs was 50-50.
Yeah.
Alvin and the Chipmunks was 50-50.
Oh, that was a complete zero for me.
Which one?
All.
The first one was first one was okay, and then they just started
Being
reaching. But like, yeah, so that's why Paddington. I'm like, well, skipping.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, it's like the one kids movie I should have actually watched.
Well, Coco came out too.
And Coco, I don't I mean movies based on
Old stuff.
like literature that like kids literature that I actually enjoyed.
I did rewatch Coco last night. But
It came out on Blu-ray, I
so
think.
good.
Yeah, it's out.
So good.
At least the commercial I watched last
I
night
should
said
probably-
Coco out.
I just
Go pick up that movie.
rewatching Coco last night, realizing that my TV just completely sucks. Because I remember watching that movie in theaters and being
Do you
literally
have a 4K TV?
no
I do. Well, maybe that'll be good.
Do you have a
4K
something
player. You have a 4K player. Your PS4 doesn't do 4K.
You can get a Chromecast that does 4K, but
You
then
might be able to
say
up-
goodbye to all your data.
it might upscale to 4K maybe.
I don't know.
That won't be native 4K. But yeah, I remember watching that movie and just being awestruck with that giant panorama.
Well, the screen is also 8 billion times bigger than
a
anything
million
you're getting
pixels.
in it.
Yes, exactly. But it's just that movie is still good.
So good. My wife and I started watching Glow. Slow start to that.
Haven't you already watched?
I've already watched it. My wife hasn't seen it, so I'm kind of like, how are you enjoying
You
this?
just want to see Adler's and Breen naked again.
And that's the first day I'm done. We've passed that episode.
Isn't that the
by-
first episode?
Yeah, we've
The
passed
first
that
5
episode.
minutes.
We've passed that episode 6 episodes ago. Like, and it's a good show. It's just I can feel like she's like, it's all right, and I'm like, it does pick up, but it really doesn't pick up until Alison Brie figures out the Russian character, which is like halfway through that season.
Yeah.
And it's like, I get the build up that you need to, like, you know, build that animosity between the two characters, but that animosity is there after episode 3. Like, you don't need to keep building it up because there's a lot of episodes in there on a second rewatch that I'm like, this episode doesn't really need to be here. Like, it's
TV shows have that.
it's not adding. I know, but when you're doing a run on Netflix and you're already doing a short-ish type season, it's like, why are you making episodes that really have no bearing on the storyline or the characters?
Yeah.
Like, other than to just stretch your season to 13 episodes. So it's weird watching it on a second rewatch because the first one, I watched pretty much straight through and was like, yeah. But now watching it like episode to episode,
you're watching it through that lens, like the.
now I'm watching it again, not really. You know, now it's like episode to episode. I'm like, that one really didn't need to be there. It doesn't help with any. You know, now I'm just studying the show, so that's my own fault.
Film
But, yeah, film.
Who's the boss?
Marianne. Game of Thrones. I've just got through. There was a battle on water and green fire.
Oh, that was such a great episode, though.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
What's that, though? That's always because there's 10 episodes. That's always episode 9.
Yeah.
Wait, what? Episode 9?
Episode 9s are always the, like, something big
action.
happens.
My only problem
with
action.
piece action?
It's something big
happens. My only problem with that whole fight scene, when they were on the boats, I got who each side was.
Yeah.
They got to the beach and started fighting.
You didn't know who's.
And I had no idea who was who, and I'm like, who's winning this fight?
You find out at the end who wins.
I know, but it kind of bugged me because the whole time I'm watching it, and I'm like, am I supposed to know who's winning? Is this supposed to be a mystery as to, like...
I love the Hound on that.
Yeah.
Fuck the king.
Yeah.
Ciao.
And he deserves it. Like, Joffrey is such a dinkus, but, like...
But it really got Tyrion to
Yes.
step up.
I know, and then you feel bad for him.
Yeah.
Yeah. The dragons are getting bigger.
They are.
They're on a boat. The dragons are bigger.
But dragons don't need to be on a boat. They fly.
Well, the dragons aren't really on a boat. That was they got on a boat. I didn't finish watching that episode. They were on a boat.
Are they on a boat?
Yeah.
Are they on a boat?
Yeah, but the big centerpiece of where I am episode wise is like there was a boat and green fire and.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
Which was
I
the
got
Dragon Fire.
Yeah, well, yeah.
It's called.
Yes.
I can't remember.
I don't remember.
I think it's Dragon Fire.
Either way, green fire.
Yes.
Good trick. Dug
Was.
it. Yeah. Boom! I'm like that. That was bigger than I was expecting it to be. But yeah, I did make it to the next episode.
Okay.
But it's a lot slower than.
But that's what I said. No,
Yeah.
In this show, 9 or whatever comes before, usually the season finale is the big episode where something big happens.
Yeah, yeah, because I did get to the next episode because Joffrey's all like, "I bestow upon you these honors and these honors to you."
The first season,
and these
it
honors
was
to you.
Ned.
Yeah.
That was the big thing that happened. And then, yeah, this one was the big fight.
My favorite character's on her way, running around in the wilds now.
Is it Maisie?
Arya.
I don't know anything
Where
about
is
Game
she?
of Thrones.
She just escaped the.
Yeah, that's a good bit.
Yeah. So, and then yeah, everything's starting to unravel like everywhere.
So which season are you on now? 2 or 3?
End of 2.
Okay.
And I only have 1 season left on Crave before like the summer when
That's
they
okay.
release the last
3
one.
is.
Don't you have
your-
it?
Yeah, I have them all.
Is this Red Wedding-ing? When's Red Wedding?
Do you want me to tell you?
Yeah,
To be
because I
prepared,
really
or
don't
do you-
care.
I
Third
thought it was
season.
later.
Okay, see, I'm getting the red. I still don't know. People die.
I think
Oh,
I've watched
dude,
it.
it's a way. If you read the books comparatively, it's way different.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think
But
I've
it's
watched
good,
the
it's good.
YouTube
Like,
spoilers of that sequence.
That's what I like about the show is you read the book and it's one way, and then the show it's still keeping the same story kind of.
different perspective on it.
It's different.
See, I can't read the books. I tried.
I can't. I'm trying to remember season 2 what the difference was.
Apparently, Ross was saying like that all that stuff with Arya
Never happens.
never happens, but it's like it's a nice addition to the whole.
Yes.
Because that's nice. I started listening to, and I don't normally audiobook. Yeah.
Ooh.
Why?
Why am I audiobooking?
Yes.
Because this audiobook, I remember the author talking about it because I followed you to this. Why can't I think of his Max Brooks,
Yes. World War Z.
World War Z. We went to his panel
Yeah.
at Calgary, and I'm like, I don't know who this guy is, and all of a sudden he's Mel Brooks's kid. Because I had not
He
read,
writes.
I had not read any of his stuff previous, and I'm like, I'm not just gonna wander around alone. Where are you going?
Yeah.
So I followed you, and I mean, he was such a good speaker. I bought his books that bloody day.
And he signed them too.
I know I have them signed. But either way, he talked about his audiobooks and how like he had gotten a bunch of actual cast people to read the extended audiobook, which was
Okay.
the entire book. So it has
And you've seen the movie, right?
yeah.
World War Z.
And you can see how it's the.
I've
Why
read the book.
huge
I read the
difference?
book.
Isn't it like just it's basically
After I bought the book,
It
I
shares
read the
the name,
book.
doesn't it?
It shares the name.
That's all it is.
It might have followed one character, but I don't think it's very
Very slim.
thin.
I did read the book, so I've read it already. But he has, oh, man. Hold on. Allow me to.
But he actually has characters.
He went because after they made the horrible film, they came to him going they wanted something else out of him, and he went, I want to cast my own people for my own audiobook, and we're going to read the whole book.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm doing it my way. We're going to do like an audio play. It's
Nice.
not going to be just the... and because they wanted whatever was coming out of him next, they're like, yes. So he
Okay.
cast his own people.
Well, probably because they wanted more World War.
They wanted
they're
more
doing
stuff
World War
out of
Z
him.
too.
Yeah.
Are they really still doing
Yep.
the second
Yep.
one?
Brad
Is
Pitt.
Brad Pitt? Oh, okay, wow.
Oh, yeah.
That-
He's still in it. Martin
Why,
Scorsese
though?
is one of the voices. Simon Pegg is
Done.
one of the voices.
You had me at Simon Pegg.
Nathan Fillion is one of the voices.
That's
Max
awesome.
Brooks provides his own voice as the interviewer.
Okay.
Mark Hamill voice.
What?
Cal Penn voice.
That's a
Rob
lot of
Reiner
big names.
voice. He has name like, and I was looking half these people up, and it's like this person played this guy in this movie because there's so many different cultures going on within.
It's been such a long time since I read that.
Hey, Sisu.
Hello.
Sorry, Sisu. I was reading down here, not watching the screen, but I was looking at like this giant list of people, and I keep looking people up every once in a while, and I'm like, that's actually a person. That's actually
Yeah, it's
John
been such a long
Turturro,
time since-
Alfred Molina.
Wow.
And I'm sitting there going, how the heck would this guy, like, you know,
Only here
not a huge author in
the-
terms of how many books he's written or how big he is, and then I remembered who his dad was because we got to the 6th person, and Carl Reiner, who's like a 90-year-old comedian, and I'm like, how did you get Carl Reiner to do like this old?
Yeah.
Well, and here's
His
the thing.
dad's best friend is Carl Reiner, and I'm like, oh yeah.
And here's
Mel
the thing:
Brooks.
if it's an
actually a
audiobook,
long time since I've read that book.
because it's an
not a
audiobook
bad
too, you
audiobook.
can just have them do their work over Skype.
Well,
too.
You can do anything, so that's
So,
the beauty
it's
of it.
funny as I'm reading a book right
do
now.
it over the phone.
Called Robocalypse.
Oh yeah,
Same thing as World War Z, where it's different viewpoints
accounts of
of robots taking over our world.
Yeah.
Which is like, oh, all right.
So the piece with the Canadian soldier who's talking about his experience in World War Z
Nathan
is
Fillion.
Nathan Fillion,
Nice.
Oh God.
and he talks about it from like, you know.
Is that the one where they dragged them up? Where they dragged the zombies up to freeze them?
No, this one was they were the guys going after. They're part of like the Canadian military sort of thing, but they were going after heroin and crack dealers in whatever country that was, and they end up going through. It's very close to the beginning, so he's like, we didn't know what was going on yet, but all of a sudden we see like gang members on one side with all of their guns, with their guts spilled out everywhere and all of this stuff, and then in a cave, a trap had collapsed to the wall, but there was a hand sticking out and moving.
Yeah.
And Nathan Fillion's character grabs it and pulls, and the head comes out trying to like
Bite them.
and he shoots him, and he's like, I was the only one in the tunnel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I got pulled back to Edmonton, and they tell me that it's PTSD and all this other stuff, and da-da-da-da-da-da, and I'm like, oh, man. Like, but the way that even Nathan Fillion's talking is like he's in some hospital bed somewhere, just,
Interesting.
And I'm like, damn.
And you have to buy the.
Yes?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
were in
Yes.
World War.
We were in all of them.
Oh.
We're in all of them. We're just
We're more peacekeeping. now.
we're peacekeeping now.
That's what we
Yeah.
do.
That's cool.
I can't even remember that.
Where did you? So where are you getting the audiobook from? Just
The only reason I got it the way I got it was because Google Play Books,
oh, do they have an offer?
they just started releasing audiobooks.
Oh, cool.
And so for the first time I actually managed to get it cheaper because I kept looking for this audiobook knowing that there was people involved in it, but it's like $30, $25, and I'm like, I got the book cheaper than that. Like, so I finally looked it up, and even the Zombie Survival Guide read by Max Brooks is $14.95 on here.
That one is. I like the.
It's actually
World War
a good
Z.
book. But World War Z is a book, yeah.
But that's why I'm liking Robocalypse right now. Is because it's like the exact same thing, but robots.
Yeah.
Not as many characters as I think World War Z had, but it covers around like 6 different people, and their different takes on how the robots kind of started taking over.
All I know is, I got a deal.
It's more than
on,
just Skynet.
I got a deal on this
It's
book, so.
it's not really spoiling, but it's a thing called Arcos, and it's because people tried to develop an AI that was self-taught.
Yeah, that's usually how the robots rise up.
Yeah.
You've heard about that? The
I'm
AI.
trying to find the price of this thing.
Oh, I don't know if I'd ever do an audiobook.
You heard about
I
that?
prefer reading it.
You heard about the AI experiment? I think it was like Microsoft that was running
Where
it.
they were created their own language.
Yeah.
Yep.
That was
And they shut that down real quick.
real quick.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Oh, that was terrifying.
But yeah, so that one, and then Brian and I have been playing Escapists 2.
I will eventually. I think.
Yeah,
Chris and
I'll
I think
come
we'll
around eventually.
Well, so we have come up with a plan for when we play with you guys.
Oh.
We're just going to have to. The word audiobook is weird. Moving pictures with.
Yes.
Yes.
Moving frames.
Well, like I said, this one's
Moving-
almost an audio play, like the old radio shows.
Yeah.
That's kind of what Max Brooks wanted to do, was one of the old radio
Okay.
shows. And it's not just them reading the book. It legitimately is just like he goes around with his dictaphone.
Yeah.
And that's what you're getting, because their voices change all the time. So
Yeah.
it's not like it's just one person reading the book. Like, it gets to Carl Reiner, who's supposed to be some German spy sort of thing, and he gets all the accent and the thing going. Either way, the Escapists, when we play with you guys, we're just going to follow your lead,
What?
Because you know how to do
because
everything.
we know how to escape 2 of the prisons.
How many prisons are there?
Stop playing the
There's
game.
a lot.
Okay.
Some of the ways to escape. Well, so that's the thing.
You
Like
don't have
the
to.
first you can't. Okay, Escapists. The first dungeon, Escapists 2.
Mm-hmm.
To escape on your own, once you kind of get the gist of what's going on, I can escape in 3 minutes by myself.
Mm-hmm.
You cannot escape that way co-op. You can only escape that way single player.
So it's a different way of looking at it.
So there's different ways of escaping. So there's like even we got to the second prison, quote unquote. It's
Do you just keep getting caught?
no, you can make different people.
Okay.
It's meant to be an open world, not open world, but open-ended like way to solve the.
Well, and every prison has different quirks to it. So like the first prison is I forgot what it's called, something 2.0, but it's a very regular prison. The guards are all very friendly.
I'm gonna go Andy Dufresne on it and
I
dig
get-
through the wall and
I get a lot of
Stereotype.
Overcooked vibes from it, where it's like each kind of stage has its own sort of
Yes.
appeal.
So like the first one, very simple. The guards are nice to a point where, like, as long as you don't beat them up, they're pretty good about stuff.
I beat them up.
And then they come after you.
I'll come after you, not me.
I'm sorry, it was an accident.
I accidentally shot you.
But like the second one, you're on a train, and there's a time limit, and you have to escape the train.
Right.
Okay.
So Brian and I were all like, "Cool!" So we got out of our prison, like we got out of our cell,
Yeah.
and we're like, "Okay, explore the train, explore." And there's a horse next to the train. We're like, "Perfect!" So we click the button. Can only use this in single player. And we're like, "Ruh-roh!" So then it's like, how do you escape as a multiplayer
Yeah.
duo from a moving train?
And
Go.
there's multiple ways.
There's a couple ways.
Yeah,
So
multi-path
the
endings.
the train, there wasn't a lot of ways to escape, obviously, because it's a train.
Was it moving?
Yep.
Do you have to parachute? Can you parachute off of it?
Nope.
You jump out and then cross a bridge into the water.
No.
That's how they always do it on trains.
But like the first one, there's a few ways out, and I mean Brian and I in the end.
It's supposed to be Scooby. I'm not sure.
Ooh, I was thinking of a way out. Oh yeah, a way out is a different
Oh, puppy dog.
a different game.
I know.
This is the big puppy. Well, like the first prison, to escape, if you put on a disguise, you can escape single player, or you can do what Brian and I did. Like we've restarted
Can you
quite a
just
few.
leave Brian behind?
No, that was the other piece because I tried.
No.
So long, sucker. You're on your own. So I tried doing that. That didn't work. So.
Yeah, we're back.
Aha.
Sorry, dogs.
Yep.
We're
good.
deciding to fight on all of our stuff. The train level takes like 5 minutes solo.
Yeah.
But it is timed anyway, so Brian and I were frantically trying to like find a way off of this train.
And it's a time limit.
And there's a time limit because you don't want to get to the end. Go. Nope. Go.
But
Nope. You can be as cute as you want.
but.
So Brian and I were panicking, and we finally there are hints as to how to get off the train. So we finally managed to find our way off the train. In the first level, there's phones you can use to call for hints. So you have to get so many coins, and you can call to get hints as to how to get out.
Now, is there difficulty levels as well, like easy, medium, hard, or is it
No,
just
that's
straight?
the prison.
Okay.
So
prison.
I tried the third prison just to see what was up. And like there's a workout room, so to gain strength, which means you hit harder,
Yeah.
you have to lift weights in the first
Then
dungeon.
you go back to your cell and punch the wall.
No.
No, you just lift. You put.
You have to go to the workout room. Now you have a lot of free time in the first prison where you can do a lot of stuff. There it is.
Hey, here we go.
You actually have to follow routine. So when it's roll call, show up for roll call. When it's breakfast, show up for breakfast.
Sounds
When
like
it's
it takes a
exercise,
while.
when it's oh yeah, Brian and I to escape that first prison took us like an hour a night for about a week, and we restarted multiple times.
Wait. So you can pause in between matches?
As soon as you quit, you're good. It pretty much saves.
Okay.
And it's drop in, drop out multiplayer.
Okay, I was wondering how it keeps track of multiple players.
Just that's yeah.
Whoever's running it.
Bad. I know. She's staticky
bad,
right now, so
It is dry.
yeah.
It's very dry.
So yeah, no, like it's and then the I can't be mad at the dog. Stay.
Wow, if it's one, it's the other.
I know
isn't it?
it's like well, I want to visit.
Good.
Soon.
Good echo.
Soon.
Like I went to try the third prison,
Yeah.
and outside the workout room, like going into it, are metal detectors,
So you can't bring
which
knives
detect it detects all kinds of contraband, like anything you're not allowed to have. The metal detectors.
Cigarettes.
Cigarettes you're okay with having if they were in the game. There's no cigarettes.
So, okay.
But like
Well, I mean, like knives or forks or pens or something like that.
A
Yeah.
plastic fork.
you can get them.
Has to be specifically plastic, though.
And plastic forks aren't contraband. You can have a plastic fork.
Vibranium knife.
Because a plastic fork doesn't do anything.
Vibranium.
Now a
Vibranium.
handmade stun gun.
Vibranium.
Handmade stun gun's a little harder to...
Yes.
Or like one time I dressed up as...
I gotcha. I gotcha.
I beat up a guard.
With vibranium?
No, with my fists.
Oh.
Did you work out a lot?
I worked out a lot, and then I actually made a baseball bat with nails in
Toothpicks.
it. No.
I feel
you
like
can
that's-
get lumber.
Can you get toothpicks?
I feel like
No.
toothpicks
They're
are
sharp. They're not.
You can also
They're
build
not
a shiv
metal.
out of a comb and a razor blade. Like,
Is that? Would they detect that?
yes.
Well, it's not metal.
The
A razor blade is.
Well, the other part.
And
is.
sometimes combs are metal.
But I beat up a guard and I stole his clothes. And I stole like his weapon. And I stole his key and I made an imprint of his key and I put his key back because if you don't put the key back, they
find
go,
out.
oh, a key went missing.
Lockdown.
So they do a lockdown. They search everybody's rooms. Even your secret stash goes missing. Like you get thrown in solitary. It is not fun. So I've learned that trick. But then I was like, I look like a guard now. And if you dress like a guard, they're all like, hey newbie, what's up? And you're like, yep.
Yes, I am.
are
I am.
you?
I am
Out
guard.
here.
I am guard.
Ah.
Yes. Yes, I am this guard you speak of.
Either way, in the first in the first prison, I was dressed
Like
as
a dungeon.
In the first prison, I was dressed as a guard. I had my plastic key because my key was made of plastic because I made a mold and then poured plastic
I don't
into the
think that
mold.
would work as well.
Well, no, there's durability to the key. You can
Okay.
only use it so many times. And that's all I had on me. I didn't carry any of my weapons. I was like, I want to explore how far I can get with this key into. Nope.
True. They
Nope.
would be missing.
Nope.
Extra. It's extra uniforms
Extra uniforms.
Unless you hide
with
the
with nondescript ID.
body.
I didn't kill the guy.
Yeah, but you wake up and go, hey, where's my uniform?
Can I go with Solid
Then
Snake
just
on
goes and
this?
gets another one.
I just want to be Solid
That
Snake.
would make no sense.
It doesn't make sense. But either way, I had his uniform. I walked through the metal detector, and because I had the key, which is contraband, and the uniform, which is contraband, the thing went off, and I'm like... So I, like, ran into a locker and hid
Like Solid Snake.
till my...
You gotta get a cardboard box.
Because there's a number for, like, suspicion. So my suspicion number went down. And then I'm like, I have to walk all the way out into, like, the yard and go through the... He's naked, but where's the key?
It seems fine. Doesn't seem
It
suspicious
happens
at all.
all the time.
All
Just
the
lose
time.
Your clothes.
I was gonna say,
Do you not do that?
Bob wakes up with a screeching headache and no clothes.
He's used to it. It's like a Friday night.
As long as his keys aren't
it's
gone,
just a
it's all
Tuesday.
good.
It's just a Tuesday.
Either way, so those detectors detect like
Plastic.
everything as long as you're not supposed to have it. And I'm like, this third prison already has them in like a zone where I am forced to go to every day.
Yeah.
That
So you
means
need to
I
like
can't.
hide it in like a garbage can or something like that.
No, you have a drawer,
Hide it under the weights.
and you only have 5 spaces to hide things. So you have to be very careful because if they search your drawer and you have any contraband in the top, you get in junk. Like you get in trouble.
Solitary?
And you end up in solitary.
Okay,
You
is
lose?
there like a game over
Do
state
you
in
lose
this
if you
game?
go to solitary?
No.
Is there a game over state in this game?
No.
Okay,
If
so
you die.
Solitary, you end up in solitary for a given amount of time. You can peel potatoes to decrease that time.
Just like real life.
So you sit in solitary and peel potatoes, and it takes like 20 seconds off your time. Or you can sit there for 5 minutes. Like,
Here, go to the washroom. I'm out.
the toilets are for flushing contraband. Thank you very much.
Poop is contraband.
There's no poop. You don't poop in this game. There's nothing. And that's the nice part. Like, survival-wise, to eat, you don't actually need to eat unless you're out of energy, because to work out or to read or to fight takes energy.
If you hide stuff under stuff.
No.
So I lifted weight and I put something under.
See, my go-to thing is to put things in the garbage can.
No garbage can.
Oh.
Sneak it again. Does he have his keys? Yes, all good.
Yeah, seems
pretty much.
Game state check. It does have keys. Good to go.
If you dig a hole, you can obviously hide stuff in.
Can you dig a hole underneath the ground and get out?
Oh, I can do an Andy Dwyer thing.
Yeah.
I can put a hole.
If they find your hole, you're in trouble, though.
But it's just a hole.
But that's where I put a picture over it and make
So the main tutorial shows you two things. You can go up into air vents.
Done.
Or you can go
Solid Snake style.
down through the ground. So
we would have fun with this.
and that's Brian and I for the longest. I think we were on day 13. We had tried 2 prison breaks and failed miserably because we're like, we'll escape through the vents.
You know, it's funny that they don't think that this guy's going to keep trying.
They don't care. They keep catching us.
There's a bit of video gaminess that you have to like let go.
Worst criminals ever. So yeah, that's like Brian and I are sitting there going like, clearly there's a reason we're in jail. Like, because we went up into
because you got caught.
Okay, to be fair, we went up into the vents thinking like there's different colored doors.
That's how you get around the contraband thing.
Well, sort of, except if they see you coming out of a vent, they kind of get
obviously
a
you
little
gotta
suspicious.
time it, but you can't. You go around the detector. You place something so that when you go through the next
Can
time,
you make distractions?
Yes.
Excellent.
firecrackers.
Not like that. You can legitimately, like, if I drop a
porno thing? A mag?
Yes,
No.
exactly. An adult magazine.
No,
And then the guard goes, ooh.
But that's how I get the guards. Is I drop like the comb with the razor blade, like the shiv.
Yeah.
I drop that in a cell, like someone's cell.
I'm trying to get him to step on it.
And the guard goes, "What's that in there?" and runs in to grab it.
Can you lock him in the cell?
No, and I come in behind him and beat the living crap out of him with my baseball bat, and then steal his clothes.
That's better.
Steal his clothes and key. Don't forget the key.
In the first,
No, you can't steal the key because
You gotta make
the copy of the key. It's a very timed thing because as soon as the medics show up, they take him away no matter what. And then
with you standing over the body.
Yeah.
That's Bob. I'm new Bob.
The best part is Brian's like, "Are you just running around openly with a crowbar in your hands?" And I'm like, "Clearly the guards can't see it because you can see everything everybody's carrying as they're like, what's in their hand." But the guards clearly can't see it because, yeah, I'll be running around with, like, a makeshift stun gun in my hand. And they're just like, "Top of the morning, Nick." And you're like, "What's up?"
Can you beat up the medics?
No.
Oh.
So...
That would have been a good beat up.
Well,
let the medics come. Beat up the medics, take their uniform.
You can make a medic uniform.
And transport the policeman.
No, but you can make a medic
Transport
uniform
your buddy
break
out.
into the hospital.
Heist him out.
And every prison's different. So, like, you can build different things depending on which prison you're in. There is legitimately a space station as one of the last levels. So, but
How much
good
was
game.
this game again? Like
20
$20?
bucks? $24.
I could
25
probably
bucks.
afford that.
I
might
want to get that.
have to.
I want to get that or near, or
So-
both.
Both.
Because near's only like $30 right now.
You know, my answer to everything is get both.
Yeah. You guys should get the Escapists, and we can play.
Well, you guys are so far ahead. It's...
No, and like then that's Brian and I said, because I've stopped at the first 2 prisons, and I said to Brian, and I'm like, when we play, I'm like, obviously you guys do the tutorial because it teaches you some of the basic stuff.
Air vent.
But when we get to it,
cardboard
teaches you the
box.
air vent and the digging and the like the routine of stuff.
It's just a box.
Just
a box.
But when we get to that first dungeon, Brian and I are just whatever you guys tell us to do. That's what we will legitimately be your prison wives.
There are other words for that.
I know. We will be your bitches.
We are an M-rated or a
Yeah.
PG-rated podcast.
I already swore on here.
That's
so.
true. But we will be. Like that's what we've agreed upon as a way of being is you guys tell us what to do. We'll
Okay.
do it. That way, we're not going to sit there going, guys.
And there's only a 4-player game up to? Or?
Up to 4.
Oh, nice.
Ah.
Oh no, the wall.
The veil of the wall.
Pancake! You do not chew on cords.
Yes, I do. You don't know me. You're not my supervisor.
Yes, I am. So yeah, good game. But that's what Brian and I said, because we're like, otherwise, yes, that's exactly what it'll be. Is Brian and I will be like, guys, just do this, which is no fun. You're meaning that they're your
butt pirates.
Butt pirates. Yes.
Sure, that's it.
Yeah,
that's a technical term.
You're
Yes.
stealing your butts.
Yes.
Yup. Up the butt.
You're plundering my
You gotta
butt.
put it way up there. You gotta put it way up the butt. Just way up there.
Cardboard box up there?
No.
But that's what we said. We're like, we'll just follow your guys' lead for the first 2 prisons until we, like...
Gonna dick around some more.
Well, until, yeah. Because, I mean, we did. Brian and I dicked around for, again, I don't know how many in-game days where we're like, I think we're ready to escape now. And we actually ended up getting... Oh, no. There was one point we got stuck in the vents.
Do you die in
You
the
both
hunger?
can't go at the same time.
It's Brian's fault.
Do you guys,
So
like,
it's Brian's fault.
die of hunger if you don't?
Nope. Like I said, you don't actually have to eat.
Okay, so
Um,
if they can't find you at roll call, what happens?
they lock down the prison.
Sweet.
And they start searching. So that was Brian and I were like, roll, because we did this at night. Roll call was such a long way away. Brian showed up in my cell because we were planning to
Oh,
escape. Yeah,
Butt
yeah.
pirates.
Butt pirate, butt pirating.
I know how prison works.
Were you guys butt pirating each other?
Yep. And we had a plan to escape, but for whatever reason, both of us had like a brain fart, and we went up into the vents when we didn't mean to go up into the vents. And Brian was all like, "Oh, because you can build a fake vent cover to put on the vent, which
Okay.
you just take on and off, and it has durability, so you can only take it on and off so much."
Yeah.
But he's
that
like,
sounds
"I got a
about
better vent cover. Like it looks more realistic." So we went up into the vent. He put the new vent cover on, but to get the new vent cover off, we either needed some kind of clippers or screwdriver to get it off, which we didn't have because we were not planning to actually go up into the vents. But before either one of us could think of it, so all of a sudden we're like,
We're gonna get caught.
well, so now we're sitting there and the clock is slowly ticking by, like waiting for morning, and I'm like, so I just punched Brian out. And the medic found their way up into the vent and grabbed him. And
Just like real life.
Yeah.
Just like real life.
And we got back down, but then he lost all of his
Stuff.
contraband because as soon as you get taken to
Yeah.
the medic stuff, they.
That's just like real life.
So we can help you guys avoid like that kind of nonsense.
No, I think we could.
Well, that'd be
we'll
funnier if we just did it.
But that's Brian and I have pretty much we've for the first 2 prisons we're like
I think we both
We'll
have
let
the same
Chris and-
thought on this. We're gonna go Metal Gear Solid on this.
we'll just
Yeah.
let Chris and Tony figure out what they
get a
want
bottle
to do.
we need a bottle of ketchup
Solid.
to fake our fake death in the prison cell, so that the guard comes by and goes like, "Oh my God, what? He's dead!" Opens the cell up, and then we go and knock him out.
You
Yeah.
can just leave your cell.
But what?
That's a pretty lazy prison.
The first prison is very lackadaisy.
that's
The only time it's locked is at night.
I like the magazine idea.
magazine,
There's
cardboard,
no magazine. You legitimately have
cardboard
to drop a
box.
Can I make my own magazine?
butt sort.
Can I get a horse to poop on command?
There's only one
Metal Gear
horse, and
Solid
he's on the
5.
second.
Okay.
Metal Gear Solid 5, your horse, so you can get him to poop on command.
What if I make my own magazine? Adult.
There's
magazine?
no adult mag. You cannot build an adult magazine. You
Where's
can
the
build a poster.
tranquilizer darts?
of myself.
No, from a mag. There's. Oh, sorry. There is a.
Is there someone to talk to about buying things?
Yes, there are other prisoners where you can buy things from for
Cool.
coins. So some of the prisoners you can get quests from, and their quests
So
can range.
so the in-game currency is money, not like cigarettes.
No,
or-
they just made it coins to make it
Easier.
easy.
Okay. All right.
So essentially, it's
I want a plastic shiv.
like you can have shivs.
I will be taking out. You know a way to escape? Eliminate all the guards.
Yeah, you just do this.
So there's nobody guarding the prison, and then I can just walk out.
prison.
Okay, there's the guys in the watchtower that you cannot get to
That's why
They
we need
won't
to.
see me doing these things.
until you try to leave.
We'll figure it out. We'll figure this out. We'll Metal Gear
Well, no,
Solid this.
because I will take all their uniforms.
Yeah, it's just a guy wearing like 6 uniforms. I'm
Hey,
6.
Bob, we're all going for break.
Yeah. Just go for the
Man,
Bob.
Clive got heavy. No, that's Clive and his buddies. They're all going for break.
That's Bob too.
I'm Bob.
You steal one uniform, you shiv the rest. I'm out of there.
Yeah, but here's the problem: is when they go to the
about
infirmary,
guards?
they don't stand there that long, and there's different shifts, so there's guards you can't get to unless you have a guard key.
Well, I'll get one of those too, and I'm shivving everybody.
We'll shiv everything.
So that's what we said. For the first 2 prisons, we'll just follow your guys' lead and
Can
let
I
you.
go up
Or-
behind people and just choke them out?
No.
Can I close quarters combat them?
Yes, that's the only kind of combat in the
Which
game.
like just knock
We
them
are
out.
totally solid sneaking this.
Again, there's a stun gun that you can make that when you punch them, they fall flat in an instant.
I call
But
dibs
that's-
on solid snake.
Raiden.
Yeah, you can be riding.
And the more you play the
Ryan's pretty
game, you
cool.
unlock more customization items for your
Can I have a
characters.
guy with an eye
I want an
patch?
electro knife.
I don't know about an eye patch at this very point in time.
Bandana.
You can get
Get a red
bandanas.
pen? Unlimited ammo.
You can get bandanas for your face. If you beat the train level, you get the like bandit mask.
Neat.
I am.
Can you get stealth camouflage?
I'm the White Ranger.
No. My guy currently has glasses, shaggy-ish hair, and a beard
I
because I
want
felt like the beard was appropriate.
Red bandana with eye patch.
You're getting way too complicated.
I want a black bandana, but the back of it is like really long.
Well, I'm done.
No comment.
I also played Revelations too.
Oh, I
not-
played a bit of Revelations too. I haven't made it that far yet.
So it's an interesting game. It is a port of the existing game that happened a couple years ago, I think. No.
Yeah.
That game is incredibly dependent on a co-op gameplay style. You need to almost play that game with someone else through and through.
I feel like you're,
Because there are several situations where one character has all the guns and all the fighting mechanics,
and the other
but
person
the other
has
one,
the like stunning effects.
the stunning effect, the flashlight. It's like, oh, there's a hidden item over there. So if you're playing the game single player, you have to swap back and forth between the two characters, and it just gets really, really tedious. And it's really a shame that you can't play the single player online,
Yeah, I know.
or even at all with multiplayer, because I think you can do it locally,
Yeah, you can local, I think.
but I don't think you can do it online.
No, you can't do it online. You can do the raid mode online.
Raid mode and something else.
Yeah.
But it's a cool game for
Yep.
what it is. The loading times are just dismal. I think it took me 2 minutes to load into the first level on the
Woof.
Switch.
I don't remember that.
It's bad. It's really bad. And luckily, once you've loaded into a certain level,
It's
then it's quick. Like doors open fine.
Yeah.
It's basically just between the chapters and
Yeah.
loading in and out. It does have the amiibo support, which I've been gaming a lot of BP for, the battle points, to upgrade the
Sweet.
characters. The motion controls I find a little bit tacky. You can do the aiming with the right Joy-Con. You can do the swiping motion with the right Joy-Con for the knife attack. And it actually is the second game that's not a Nintendo game to use the IR sensor. Because
Oh,
you can
yeah.
use the IR sensor to reload your gun.
Oh,
So what you would do is you have your Joy-Cons like this. To reload, you hold them sideways, and then you just kind of tap it
huh.
to reload
Interesting.
whatever gun you have.
I haven't
equipped.
played. I've played the Escapist in my dock because Brian and I have been using Discord to obviously chat.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
I'm like, instead of using Discord off my phone, I'll just sit here and play. But otherwise, I'm always playing handheld mode, so I never know what the motion controls do.
Yeah, I find the motion controls for I've tried to turn the settings down on the aiming because I find it a little too tacky. It's
Oh,
a
yeah.
little too sensitive. The reloading stuff, I've used it maybe 2 or 3 times and said, yeah, that's
reloading.
that's a reloading with motion controls using a really. I feel like they could have done that without the IR sensor.
Probably.
They could have done it without the IR sensor.
They probably just want to make sure you didn't like accidentally move too fast and all of a sudden your character starts, because you do not want in that game to start reloading if you do not want to reload.
Right.
So
And so there's a lot. If you enjoyed the first Revelations game, it's basically that all over again.
Yep.
Visually, it's one of the best looking games I've seen on the Switch.
it's a good looking game.
It's a very good looking game. The lighting effects are really good. The character models super good. The action sequences, when they are there, I have
Yeah.
found myself a lot of firefights with either very little bullets left
Mhm.
or like one herb left.
Hmm.
I've actually had to restart the game once
I
because
did too.
I was in that situation where it's like
I have not enough.
I have 5 bullets
I
and
knife you to death.
I have 5 bullets, and there are 2 of these Juggernaut characters coming at me at once.
Yeah. I found that taking over
You could do it.
the character with the flashlight actually makes it easier.
Yes, because the flashlight character, because the game is split up between 2 sections. You've got Claire Redfield and Moira Burton, I think is her name.
Yes.
Who is the daughter of Barry Burton from Resident Evil 1.
Okay.
They're trapped in this asylum, whatever it is.
Yeah.
They were injected with some sort of bioorganic virus that reacts to fear. And so in game, it doesn't really affect you much because there's no meter to gauge your personal fear. It's just a story bit. And the other half of the campaign is Barry and the kid. I still don't remember what her name is.
Alive?
Yeah,
He died.
He didn't die in Resident Evil 1. No,
He makes it out.
he makes it out.
That's one of those. It's the twist in Resident Evil 1. Barry all of a sudden shows up, and you're like,
Yeah, he saves you. He saves your ass in the end sequence of that game. But the others, yeah. So one half of it is those. There's 4 characters, and you switch between the 2 campaigns between each chapter.
Yeah.
So like 5 or 6.
I think so.
6, because there was
But
3
the-
different stories there, wasn't there?
Yeah, because 6 was 3
Leon and his
yeah,
partner.
partner, and Chris and his partner,
Yeah, and
then Wesker's
was
kid.
yeah.
So the thing is here, Resident Evil Revelations 2, it was an episodic game, and you can still see the episodic portions of where this game came out, of how this game came out rather. On this, obviously, for the Switch release, it is all in one. You get it all.
Yep.
You didn't have to. You don't have to wait, a couple months or whatever for each episode.
Yeah.
And I will admit, the twist at the end of the first episode was pretty huge. So I can see it as an episodic content, people wanting to play the next episode, and then the next episode if the story progresses as it is.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm conflicted with that game. On one hand, I really like the game, like the mechanics, the shooting, the gunplay is good, but I don't like having to manage 2 characters at once. It seems really weird.
I feel
by
if the
yourself.
AI was better on that other character, it would be.
Yeah, because the only commands you have are wait and follow me.
Yeah.
You don't have ones where it's like blind the enemies more or
Blind that one, not this one. Why are
Yeah.
you shining your flashlight on this one? This guy's already almost dead. Like,
Yeah.
focus on this one so that he doesn't kill us. That'd be stupendous. Thanks.
and I find that AI is very.
But isn't that their job?
I find that the AI is also very liberal when it's with its use of herbs because you can have the other character heal
Using it
you.
as a pillow?
You have a
I
pillow.
think she can keep pressing up against my foot, but it
Yeah.
only goes so far.
Because she wants your foot to stay where your foot is.
Well, I'm massaging her butt right now.
I haven't moved it, and she keeps pressing
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
it.
that's welcome
She's
to
trying to get comfy.
having a dog.
You should see her on the bed.
Flop.
And it's like, excuse me, I need to breathe.
Nope.
She's like, I'm comfy.
Screw off, woman. So yeah, Revelations 2. I will muscle through it. I don't think it's a very long game, being an episodic
Yeah.
style presentation.
Yeah.
So no
Cool.
fear.
Oh, and DBZ Xenoverse 2 added Super Saiyan God,
SSGSS.
Which one?
the blue-haired one.
Okay.
Super
The
Saiyan.
one that everybody actually knows about at this point.
Okay.
SSGSS.
So you need to get your character to level 90 and then talk to Whis, and he'll train you to go blue-haired. And I'm like, well, there's a new objective for me.
Well, and Super Blue is not even good enough.
It is in that game. It's as high as you can go.
It's level 5.
I'm just glad they're still updating the game to the point where it's like, oh, like they're
And it's
trying
a
to
free
keep
update.
current, and it was a free update. Like
I saw
there
that
was-
download. Yeah.
Yeah, there was no requirements for like DLC and that kind of. The DLC is all very like, oh, do you want like these character costumes? You can get them. Do you want these character costumes? You can get them for DLC. Otherwise, it's just like, yeah, you want to go Super Saiyan Blue? That's totally cool, but you have to reach level 90.
Though that doesn't
That's
surprise
blue
me
is
though.
God, what is silver then?
I don't know.
What's silver?
There's another one past blue.
Oh, well, whatever.
I fell asleep and woke up and I'm super happy because the post-credit show is still going. We don't stop.
Well,
Although we are coming down,
Yeah.
coming down to the close though.
We are coming down to the close. We've been on for 2 hours.
Yeah.
So
yes.
Yes. So that's it for the post credit show, gentlemen.
it is.
It is.
Thank you. Thank you.
And if
For
it helps,
watching.
you can just
Rewind.
it a little and watch it again.
A little.
No.
Oh.
A lot.
No, it's no.
Right. That one.
No.
Hold on. Oh, I don't have my sound stuff looked up yet.
That's one thing. I think that's a button we need.
This works as a soundboard now.
Okay.
We need to get that one. We get to get no as one of them. We need to get the Vuvuzela.
Just send me these in the WhatsApp conversation and all. Damn school. I know that feeling
Hi.
for the rest of my life.
So, thanks for joining us today.
Yes.
We'll
See you next week.
see you next week. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah. That. Over there. Yeah. Well, no, not me.
She says, hi, protect me from the big one.
No, I won't
yes,
do that.
check out more of our stuff at barrelrollnews.com.
We'll find out
and
when-
Stuff.
Yes. Things.
when you prioritize post-credit show over your girlfriend. LOL. Oh dear. Don't
Don't do that.
dodge.
Maybe not.
Don't do that.
Okay, so let's
Yep.
We'll wrap it up.
let's call. I think we should call this one here.
Yeah, especially since all of our equipment's going to get
It's
destroyed soon by a
exploding.
giant tail. Either way, thanks for watching. Join us next week.
Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.